All right. It's a super brief recap, I suppose. We did not move very much. It's just combat. Would anybody like to give a quick rundown of how all of that went down?
I want to see if I can recap based on the Discord chat.
Based on memes alone, let me know.
I looked
Uh,
through them and it was pretty funny.
let's see. Oh God, yeah, I forgot what the Vernlings. All right. Uh, who summoned the crows? I think Brad summoned a flock of crows.
Mhm.
Brad did. That was his opening move.
Uh, they they got shit on pretty soon afterwards.
Hmm.
Uh, then let's see. Vern summoned the Vernlings.
Yeah, I was
Who
wondering what that was. I was guessing he did something like
he has a item. Uh, please help me, Trent.
Oh,
An item
yeah.
that summons a
Roll.
bunch of little dragons.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, quite a few of them. I forget what the exact dice roll is, but I can do it once a week. So,
I think is it 44 plus
mm,
4
that's
or
right. Yep.
8d4 plus 4, something like that. A shit
Oh,
ton.
yeah. Many
Um,
Vernlings to keep track of.
and they all lightning breath the hell out of everything.
Yeah.
Some wrestling moves were had attempting to get the intellect devours off our backs.
hmm
Um, Teth went stupid. I think Vern went down for a round.
I did.
Yep.
Mhm.
And he was being roped in by the the elder brain.
Yeah. Also, I want to point out that I tried my hardest to get to that far corner and be like, well, Barlos won't pick on me over here. I'm being a good spellcaster, keeping my distance. And then that 50-foot tentacle or whatever is just
Oh yeah,
reaching and like sniping me every time. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever.
yeah.
The
When he's about
actual reach of some of the like in the stat block from Wizards of the Coast, some of those tentacle attacks have an 120-foot reach. It's
Jesus.
just a psychic eldritch blast. Essentially, they can just shoot across an entire map and get anybody that it is mad at. Wild.
Um, yeah. Then Teth went stupid. Somebody turned him into a T-Rex, which I also believe was Eric.
Yeah.
And then Urzak killed the brain.
It was
Mm,
a really fun combat to watch. All of you guys had really cool things that were going on. Uh, it was nice. The Vernlings, I didn't go back and actually track the damage, but I think the Vernlings on the whole did the most damage out of
yeah,
anybody on
yeah,
the
yeah,
battle.
yeah.
They
100%
lit
Vernlings.
that guy up. Yeah.
Mm. I also want to point out that was it was it me that asked the or somebody else that asked the brain about the orb and it was like, oh, that piece of shit, and we learned that it, like, that doesn't care at all
Yeah.
about the orb. Like, that's not part of his plan or anything. It's just
Yeah, I didn't think he referred to it as a piece of garbage, but
oh,
piece of
all
shit
right.
is way better. Much better terminology. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Good recap.
Also, Brackle saw a scent of danger and fucking ran away.
what a coward.
He said, "Nope." Poof
He-
into
he
the
was-
ethereal plane.
Summoned with a very important coffee date with Cyclone.
Actually, I don't want to be here. So goodbye.
Death ended combat with 21 hit points out of 139. Vern is at 4 out of 101, and Eric is at 13 out of 129. And Urzak is almost full, if I remember correctly.
I have almost 3 times as many hit points as everyone else in the party put together.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I have like 100,000 hit points because I'm a T-Rex right now, so I'm great.
That's actually true.
That's true, right now. And with your T-Rex brain, you're still smarter than Teth right now.
Yeah. The main thing with Teth is his intelligence is 0, right? Or 1 or 0.
Yeah. It's 0. Yeah.
So he's just permanently stunned after T-Rex form.
We did discover that Eric has greater restoration. So
Oh, good.
not stunned forever.
What's the chance he has powdered diamond on him?
I think somebody does. I bet Vern
Yeah,
still
you're right.
does.
No, I
From
Teth
Benjamin.
definitely does.
I think Ted
Yeah.
the dust.
I just
Can
didn't
you
want
get
to
it?
use mine.
Can you pry it with stupid hands once he turns back into the Warforged?
That's
Is
the
Teth
one
gonna-
intelligence. The one intelligence he has is stay the fuck away from my diamonds.
Yep. You grab anything else. You can like grab the fucking Presidium orb out of his chest somehow.
God, it's like those videos of like cats when they get like into something they're not supposed to, and they just like get like the death grip on it and fucking growl when anybody gets close to it.
Yeah. Good news is that you'll probably just get punched. I don't have many spell slots to smite you, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Oh, Vern would be toast regardless.
Hey, Ted,
not-
you want to go pow?
Literally, Vern is down.
Vern is in punching to death territory.
Truly, yeah. And if Urzak punches you, you're dead. You're going back down.
Straight up dead. Like
Don't lie to him.
No
You're right.
saves. No death saving throws. Gone. Power word punch.
Oh god, I only have 1 spell slot left. God damn. I guess we have had a lot of fights, huh?
Yeah.
And encounters.
Mm-hmm.
I have used 1 spell slot.
Fighters.
Urzak's about to use more spell slots once you start filling up that armor, though.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll turn on my camera, but I'm gonna eat really weird because I have like an infection in my gums. It's all
Oh,
swollen.
You're just gonna- it's
We're all
me
gonna judge you.
with a syringe just like sucking on it.
No, I got a sandwich.
It's like
I
a
just
baby
gotta,
bottle.
Like, do little nibbles.
It's just like this.
One of those little like hamster bottles. You just sit there like
Mhm.
sucking on it the whole time.
All right, guys, don't look at me.
All right. Let's get into our prologue for the day. Today's prologue is sponsored by Old Spice. This is a travel size Old Spice deodorant that I got in my Christmas stocking from my sister-in-law. And she thought it was funny because the name was Swagger. So thanks, Old Spice. This smells like garbage.
Really? If I told you
Yeah.
that's the deodorant I use.
But I use Swagger all the time. No,
I
I'm
use
more
it
of
too.
a...
For those who don't know, I don't have a sense of smell. So sometimes I just pick stuff, and I've definitely used that deodorant before.
I don't think it's a
It's,
bad. I don't think it's a bad scent.
I think it's very like soapy and perfumey.
It means nothing to me.
Right, yeah, sorry, man. It's a
you
little
ever
bit of
eaten
an
soap?
overbearing scent for me.
That's fair.
It's
I
just
don't think I have
it's
it right
very
now, but
strong.
It has been in my circulation. That Swagger.
Usually, I go for something more neutral. So it doesn't smell like garbage. It smells like too much in the other direction.
Listen, I need the honesty, okay? No matter what you say at this point, I'm never getting it again. So
Don't buy it. Don't buy it again. I'm not opposed to Old Spice. I use Old Spice quite a lot. Just not that.
Not that one. Okay.
Not that scent. Yeah.
Heard. I appreciate that
No,
more than you know.
I've been buying this for 10 years. No. Okay. Dawn has just broken, and hold on. Let me go back and start that again.
You can't read it. But
I-
it says stronger swagger. Get fucked.
Help me, Old Spice.
I want
I
to
don't
smell
know.
so
I don't
strong
know what
that,
happened.
that my ancestors smell good.
Yeah. That's the true oath of the ancients. Using Old Spice swagger.
Oldest Spice.
I don't know what happened when I was typing this out. I don't know if I was using talk to text last night. Billy knows how unreliable that is. This is why you proofread what you're going to do for your D&D campaign before you do it. All right. The sun is just broken, and through a cloudless sky, the sun beams brilliantly across a mountainous landscape. Thick blades of grass are adorned with crystal clear beads of dew, shining like a sky full of stars mapped out along the cliffside. The mountain range is vast and picturesque. Trees and plants of every natural color are painted on each of the breathtaking peaks, some of which gather at their height in a perfect plateau. On one of these flat tops there sits a series of homes, well built from gray and brown stone, cemented together by thick, sandy paste. Many of these homes have smoke billowing from their chimneys. Several creatures roam the pasture surrounding the buildings, collecting wood, tending to patches of farmland, or simply relishing in the beauty of the mountain. All of them are red dragonborn. 3 figures in particular are much further out from the village, quite close to the edge of the plateau. All 3 of them seem to be children, and they are playing together. The 2 larger children are using sticks to pretend sword fight, while the smallest is rolling around in the dewy grass a ways off. You see the pretend fight begin to escalate, both dragonborn boys increasing their intensity and their focus on one another. Aha! The middle child shouts, backing the tallest one up right to the edge. I have you beat now, brother. You see him take a large swing with his stick, which the taller boy ducks beneath, and lose his balance. The middle child tumbles towards the edge, but is caught by his older sibling before falling over. Pulling him back onto solid ground, the eldest chuckles. Don't worry, bud. I'll always make sure you're safe. Back in the desert, Cade waves his hand over his sword, closes his eyes as both begin to glow. Don't worry, bud. I'll always make sure you're safe. And we're back to current time. So much has
Young man.
happened. What are you guys doing first?
I'm eating that brain, baby.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Go for it, man. You should have full control over the T-Rex. I don't think I gave that to you last week. Not that it mattered,
Yeah.
but you should be able to control it now.
Nom 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 nom.
Yeah. You guys watch as Teth Rex just rips into this giant brain, just munching on it. Oh, I guess I'll put Brackle back on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a treat. I mean, Tef doesn't eat normally, and now it can just like.
That's very true. This is the only time that Teth has like a stomach.
Yeah.
Weird.
Urzak's gonna put his hands on his knees and take a breather for a minute as haste drops.
Hands on your knees, shake that ass. That's that shit.
It's actually it. You guys think that he by Urzak.
Oh no!
You guys you guys think he's putting his hands on his knee to breathe, that he just starts working.
Vern will hobble over to the group.
Hey guys, did I miss something?
Urzok will hit Vern with a righteous fist. No. He'll put his hand. He's gonna see you hobbling a bit, and he'll put his hand on your shoulder, and with his other hand find the largest gaping wound, and give you a fat level 1 cure wounds.
Oh yeah.
11 hit points.
Damn.
Thank
It's your
you.
turn.
Yeah, who else is hurt?
Everybody.
T-Rex is great.
Everyone except for Urzok. Yeah, I guess T-Rex.
That's fucked up.
Vern, he says, oh, thank you, Urzok. It's just, I was really beat up back there. It's too bad about my eye. And he points to the gaping wound of one of his sockets that he lost during one of those psychic tentacle lashes.
I will retroactively
Hilarious.
allow that
Yeah.
you went down. You did go down, and it was because of a tentacle attack. We can flavor that as the tentacle just went right into your skull, baby. Took your eye.
Yes.
Go for
Ooh.
it.
Now you don't have an eye?
Urzok will
Vern will be
Momentarily.
like- so Vern will just, it's not like he forgot he had an eyeball. He
Vern,
will
take another
take the
21.
eyeball out of his pocket. Oh, thank you.
he's going to he's no stranger to injuries like this, but he's gonna like reach into his pack and grab a rag, and start to fashion like an eye patch over your head there.
Wait, Urzok, before you do that, can you try to put this in? And I give him the eyeball.
Oh, I was gonna say pack the wound. No,
I want
here,
him to
shove this
surgically.
eye in my eye socket.
I'm sure it's completely clean. It was just inside of a giant desert ooze, so no chance of infection whatsoever.
Oh, no.
Totally safe.
What does what does the eye look like? Is it just look like a glass eyeball, or
Yeah, it has a hole in the middle where I would put a stone in, like a small polished colored stone that would affect.
I have a picture of it.
Urzok will grab it and look at Vern and like, you know, Vern, I can't. I've seen many an injury in my day, and I can't say that any soldier I've ever met has taken injury with such grace before.
Well, it's not my first body part that I've ever lost. And you hold up his arm to make sure it's clear what he's talking about.
It's true, but
Also, still in shock.
as I've said, I have my respect. Most people would allow an injury like that to, I don't know, fester just like a wound. But I respect your positive outlook. That being said, I
You're not going to do it.
it seems very magical. I've seen magical items adapt very easily, such as rings or armor. If you want me just to put it in there, I'll do that. But if there's any kind of grace to be had with this procedure, not sure I'm the one you should ask.
What? Yeah, why don't we have Eric put it in?
Yeah, I will. I would have had you roll for medicine, Urzok. So that's not something that Brad would have to role play or anything. So if you would like to put it in, I will do that as Eric for you.
If I end up with a
And
permanent
roll
lazy
medicine.
magical eye, I'll be really, really upset, guys.
His medicine is a 10. So
Yeah, we offer up Eric as
Okay.
Tribune.
Eric, I
it-
trust you completely.
he'll cast Augury to ask Pelor for assistance, or ask him how it's going to go, and then he'll just say, "Oh yeah, that sounds fine," and then he'll roll for medicine.
I'll
It would
bless
definitely
him.
give guidance.
I'll give him
There,
bless.
Ian.
Oh yeah, guidance. Never mind. You got it.
Woo! Without
Ooh,
it, he
yes.
rolled
Oh, yeah.
29, which
It
is
was meant to be.
more than double what he needed. Yeah, so you kind of take a seat maybe on the ledge of the pool, and Eric will situate himself right in front of you with the eye. He'll make sure that he cleans it properly with his herbalism kit, and he will very slowly place it into your eye socket. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, Vern. This is going to be a DC 11 because he rolled so high on his medicine check.
Okay.
He'll give you. I'll say Eric will give you guidance too.
No need.
Okay.
Doesn't need it.
So it goes in without any complication. It does not seem to be diseased in any way. It kind of takes to your body. It will not go into effect until you have an hour straight of uninterrupted time to attune to it. So it needs to just acclimate to your eye socket. So after an hour, you'll be able to use its properties.
Okay. But I can only utilize its properties if I've like shaved down a stone to fit the little. Right.
That is true. Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
gonna be doing that here. Well, maybe my workshop, but
Yeah.
I Well, I won't worry about it. I'll see where the group decides to go next before I. Actually, the house is empty, right? We looked in. Okay, I was gonna see if the house had any gemstones, but it was pretty picked clean. So never mind.
Yeah, everything was licked clean by the intellect devourers.
Oh,
That's,
well, now
why,
that I'm
that's why there were no rodents or insects or anything. They ate them all. They all consumed everything.
Okay, noted. Well, now that I'm feeling better, guys, and I can see more or less properly. Should we take a look at
Oh,
that?
that's the other thing.
I
You
can't
won't be
see
able
out
to
yet?
see out of it until an hour
Oh,
of interrupted
Well-
time. So yeah, it's there safely. You just can't
Hmm.
use it for anything that it would do for you for an hour.
okay. So my depth perception is a little off, guys, but I can still see things pretty close up. I think. Should we take a look at that orb that nearly got us killed?
Yeah, let's do it. Want me to identify it?
This pool is fucked.
Hold on, that'd be great.
It's just blood and chunk. If the
I know
teleporter
it's
is still
identify.
open, the teleporter is still open. There's just bits and chunks of flesh being like
Thrown out all over the country, just like pieces of brain shot out of pools every which way. I mentioned one like a lake in somebody's backyard, just like some kid is playing in a lake, and a giant tentacle flies out. Dad, help!
Barlow's on cast identify on the orb.
Well, you guys are doing that. How long are we going to let Teth go at it there?
I ain't touching that thing.
Who's a big boy?
Well,
Above game question that you may or may not be able to disclose to us, Barlos, but how close are we to resting in the context of Brad not getting annoyed? Not that Brad would get annoyed with us, but in the context of us just using a level 5 spell slot of Eric's and being guilt free about it.
I talked to Brad a little bit this week, and he said that what his focus would be going forward would be to make sure that he helps aid and heal the party. So I think that this is something that he would have done anyway.
Beautiful.
So, and if not, if he's not okay with it, I'll give him the spell slot back. I'm fine with that. But for now, we'll just say that he'll use it, and it'll take either way. one 5 level or 5th level spell slot is not going to break the game.
Don't rob me of being dumb.
So in our players,
Yeah.
we told Brad to be mad about it, so he gets an extra slot.
If he comes back and he's like, no, absolutely not, I'm going to take it back, and you're still at 0 intelligence the whole way.
I'm just being dragged in a cart.
Yeah. Strapped onto the top of the elephants. Just.
I'm just gonna
Oh,
ask
what are you
Eric.
guys doing about the other half of your party too? Well, we'll get to that.
I'm just gonna ask Eric to, in a timely manner, drop the polymorph and then fix our friend Teth.
Yeah, so Teth, you go from the absolute immense pleasure of eating through all of this brain tissue to shrinking back down to your normal self, where you think and feel nothing. You have no control over your body.
Do I
And
actually
Eric,
think and feel nothing?
I don't know, if you can't think about anything, you can't really feel anything. The nerve endings go to the brain, right? I'd imagine everything would be numb.
I'm
Well, you're a
asking
robot,
you.
though, so I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know how robots feel their pain.
I'm determining if this is really nice or if this is really unpleasant. That's why I was asking.
Maybe you just turn into like a calculator, like a basic calculator.
36, 2, 8 plus 8, 1.
You know, I was thinking about this the other day because there's the stipulation in your armor that if you drop to 0 hit points, it's remote activated. So somebody on the
Yeah.
other end of things just begins operating you. And
Yep.
I wonder whether or not this would trigger that. Because, like, if you drop to 0 intelligence, your brain function goes to 0. I wonder if that would register for Gale to be like, oh, shit, he's dead. I got to get him out of
Maybe.
there.
That's a
So you're
very
just
good.
like a hunk of metal just like running into the canyon wall. Like,
No, not again!
I need to escape. Well, we'll say that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like you have to be dead. But that was a funny scenario that I thought of. Like,
Yeah.
oh no, she's gonna misinterpret this as him just like losing it, mindlessly rampaging through the map. Yeah, Eric will hop into the pool next to you, and he'll give you a nice, cool 5th level greater restoration.
Nice.
So your intelligence returns to its original. Was it 10?
Yep. 10 intelligence.
Yay!
Thank you. Teth is just glowing like red and just like static.
Yeah. And covered in blood too. You're just like the whole pool is just like you're wading through blood and sinew and chunks of brain and dissections of tentacles.
Teth will hobble out. Come over to the group. Shall we
Hey,
check the
Strawberry.
others?
So, looking at this orb that I'm certainly not very excited about.
Should we go make sure the rest of our group has not been murdered?
Yeah, it'd take me 1 minute to identify it.
Okay.
Urzak will stay back with Brackle.
I mean, we can walk. Sure, I can identify and walk.
It'll take more than a minute to walk out there. So I'll shoot you over to the other map. And by the time you get here, Brackle, you can identify it. So as you are kind of looking at it, it obviously doesn't give off a charge like a Presidium orb. It really is hardly magical at all. It's more mechanical. It is. You would know that it is. Its official name is a vortex key. Essentially, what it does is whenever you find one of these warp points, and you go through it, wherever you come out of, you can engage the key, and that key, the orb, will remember that location. So it locks in the current destination and remembers its coordinates forever, unless it's destroyed. And then anytime you find a different warp point that uses the unstable system, you can, as long as you are holding this orb, you can get back to the location that's locked into it. So, like, if you use it here, you could always get back to this place reliably.
Nice.
You and any other creatures that use the warp point at the same time as you.
Okay.
And
So
we can reassign it as many times as.
You cannot. You cannot. You would need several keys for that. So you have to pick the destination. If you end up at a place and you're like, this place is pretty sick, I'm locking this in, then you can always go back to that place.
Nice.
so right
is-
now
there's-
we can come back here if we want.
Yeah, you could use it right now. You just have to be
By a pool.
next to the portal, and you
Okay.
can use an action to lock the location in if you'd like, and then you can always come back here without fail.
Well, gang, we have a way to come back here if we ever want to fight more brains.
or
But my guess is
hang out in the middle of the wilds for whatever reason.
it'll be fun.
The architecture is nice. Vern will say and point up to the.
Not too touristy.
I was going to wait for Brad to do most of this stuff because it has to do with his deity, because that's the painting that was on the back of that cavern wall or the canyon wall.
Yeah.
But this is kind of neutral. We can do his stuff next week. Once the mural on that back wall started shining, you can see a visible, kind of like a golden shimmering dome go up over this canyon. So it looks like a barrier almost over this place.
Oh, cool.
Would that resonate with Teth at all?
Make a religion check.
Fuck.
It is like an Urzak check as well.
Yeah, any of you can make a check if you want.
Proficient in religion.
Oh, a 10. Oh,
26.
man.
Tess, well, it happened when you were a T-Rex, so you actually don't know.
Okay.
You were going to town on some brain. Urzak, you would know there are old stories kind of in the tomes written about the lesser deities, which Pelor is. One of his one of the things that sticks out about him is he can manipulate the power of the sun. He can manipulate light and provide light wherever he goes. And the other big thing is he always carries with him a shield, and that represents his protection of, not only his followers but general good population of citizens of Azura. You would know that this is a phenomenon called Pelor's Shield. It's something that is a direct blessing from him, that if it happens when he has direct contact with a steward that follows him, or if a shrine to him has been restored, which in this case is what you guys did. Whether you knew you were doing it or not, you rid the aberrations from his little cliffside here. So he popped up a shield for you over top of this canyon.
Very cool.
Yeah, thanks for explaining that to us, Eric.
Ah, yes, Pelor's shield.
That's phenomenal.
Also, why Eric's shield is so good at defending his companions in battle.
It's also why he has a 26 AC.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Does this shield reach where the elephants are currently, or
It
is that too
does.
far? Oh, good.
Yeah, think of it as a giant dome over the entire rock structure.
Hmm.
That's awesome. Well, that's pretty cool, guys.
Do we want to? It was getting into the evening, right?
It is at this point you're looking at. I can't remember exactly what I said, but it's like 7 o'clock, 7:30,
Yeah.
getting towards evening time. It's definitely getting darker.
Maybe consider
Camping here.
camping here, especially with a giant deity shield.
Let's
Yeah,
see
I
if we
feel
can
pretty
tie
safe.
up the elephants and bring everybody else up.
Yeah.
Waiting for Vern to be unimpressed by it.
Well, I've already criticized this place. It's like this is where I'd go for like a camping trip to rough it.
Giant
No.
divine dome. Come on.
I've seen better barriers. I mean, come on.
This isn't even a Persedium god.
Yeah, I
All
only
right,
take barriers from Talos himself.
What's Team Elephant doing?
Hargrave.
Yeah, you make it back. You immediately notice that there has some shit has gone down. Hargrave is has positioned herself behind. She has. They're kind of like. Gosh, now I'm blanking on what I wanted to call them. They're like blast shields. So if you've ever played like the Halo games, those like smaller shields that the
Grunts had, whatever that they hid
yeah,
behind.
like the grunts hide behind. Yeah, like the grunts and like the elites will hide behind these like half wall shields.
Mhm.
She has 3 of them across the pathway. She has everybody backed up, and she is reloading her. She's repacking powder to make more bombs, like bomb arrows, essentially. So she's just she was holding her position from the other way, like
Okay. From behind,
from
like
presumably also from intellect devourers. Everybody else looks shaken up, but not necessarily too beaten up. Coil has a couple scratches. The elephants are totally fine. The prisoners are totally unscathed. Hargrave looks a little rough, though. She looks like she's taken on a bunch of monsters by herself, essentially.
Are you all okay? What happened here? Did some little brains come towards you?
Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. No thanks to that guy. And she'll kind of like motion her head back to Alduin, and he's so ashamed. He just kind of like hangs his head and like moves a little bit further back behind the elephants, just like moving out of sight. She's like, yeah. Thankfully, nothing more powerful. It sounded like you guys had most of that. Could hear more fighting off into the city.
Yeah, it was awfully tough for us, but we took it down, and Tef had a really nice snack. No more mother brain to worry about.
Vern has a magical eyeball.
Oh yeah, remember the thing? Look, it's the thing. And Vern will point to his eye that's buzzing around in his socket a little bit as it's getting acclimated for an hour.
She'll look at it totally unimpressed and just say, "Huh," and then go back to packing her powder into into her arrowheads.
Well, if you guys want to come up into the city, it's all clear, protected, and I don't know if you noticed, there's a giant dome shield above us that a god
I did
made.
notice
I
that.
guess.
I didn't know it was from a god. That makes it much more helpful, I
It's like a
suppose.
lesser god, but
Yeah.
we're still grateful all the same.
Eric's god.
I was gonna say, you think Eric takes offense to that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, that's what I thought.
Just imagine you guys like if you were like shitting on Lundus, like yeah, who gives a shit? Some fucking Justice Dragon. Nobody cares. Urzok could be throwing fists.
All of our gods are not major gods.
Except for Ted.
Tets is
Yeah.
Oh, besides Ted.
arguably the most powerful as far as power scale. Talos is super powerful.
Besides the robot. You can leave. We can hook up the elephants down here. Can you shift your fields to the other side so maybe it prevents them from running away as well?
Of course. And you'll see her. There are like latches on the sides of them, so it looks like a full wall, but there are 3 individual shields that come up from it, and she'll kind of detach them, and they essentially just like fold up. You just truly a technical marvel in terms of what Vern is used to making and what he like wants to accomplish. Part of the reason why he was so into Hargrave when she was in the games, because she is strictly non-magical and uses gadgets to get through any of her fights. So it appeals to Vern's Tinkerer as well, like Tinkerer brain.
Dude, that's your in. That's your in. You'd be like, let me tinker your shit with you.
You want a private workshop? You want to just like go and check out a private little workshop?
This little porcelain house.
You want to come to my private workshop, Hargrave?
Check out all my tools.
This is after he just got shit on for having a dumb eye. So like,
Yeah.
Yeah, Vern is actually right now this moment because Vern took offense to it. Vern is seeing how it works, and he's already trying to think of a way to make it slightly better so he can show off his own 3 shields someday.
This is my force.
Make an investigation check, Vern. Let's see what you can find out about them while she's packing them up.
Ooh.
Yikes.
he's reeling hard.
Well, it happens so fast, and
I do
you
have
only
one
have
eye.
one good eye.
Yeah.
So you really don't. You can't find any hints as to how you would make something like this. It is so far out of your realm of knowledge. So you hopefully one day maybe she'll put them back up, and you can see. But she will go back around the other side of the elephants, and she will start setting them back up, facing the opposite direction. She'll put up a 4th one as well, because the path starts widening. So she will completely block off the path with 4 of her set up shields, and turn back to the group. And you'll see her going to take out a tiny little med kit and inject herself with some liquid, and kind of shrug off some of the wounds that she accrued during the fight.
Do you require any more healing, Hargrave?
No, I'm good. Need to rest up a little bit. Anything look pretty secure in there, or are we staying here in the hallway out here?
Oh, there's some.
Infrastructure.
She'll look back at Coil and say, "All right, go on, kid. Let's get in there."
I'll help escort the prisoners.
She's like, "Fuck that. Keep them chained to the elephants."
No. We'll bring them in. I don't trust what they'll get up to out here, especially Peep Up.
Yeah, you gotta think about bagels.
Especially that guy. Yeah. He'll say, and he'll wait to just be unbound.
Urzok will help Fractal out with
I was gonna say,
moving the
Cortesh.
people.
Corvus.
yeah, I was gonna say you can keep them binded, but then just take them off
Yeah.
the horse, or not the horse, the elephants, right?
Mhm.
Theoretically.
Can
How are you
Vern
getting
try
them
his?
down?
Oh,
What?
where get him down?
How-
Because they're on the elephants.
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah, they're still up on the elephants.
I'll grapple arm Beep up down.
I was gonna say I have
How much do you think Beep
flying.
Up weighs?
It's gotta be tiny, right?
Yeah, he's
I
he's small. I don't know, like 40 pounds maybe. Wet.
Nice. Okay.
I have a paraton that flies.
That's true. That's true.
Or we can just grappling hook them until they.
Yeah. Here's a question: how's Vorish? How's his attitude?
Yeah.
Is he adjusted, or does it need readjusting?
He hates being here. He hates the fact that you would get the idea that he hates the fact that he's with you guys more than the fact that he's going to prison. Like he's going to a maximum security prison and he just hates that he has to journey with all of you.
Because we're more powerful than him.
Gotta be.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But
God damn it.
Urzok and Brackler are up on the elephant. They're unbinding the chains from the elephant to Vorish. How is he reacting?
Since you're with Brackle, he is still quiet, but he's kind of grumbling. He has not forgotten. Several hours before, he was just stunned out of his mind from Brackle, and he is. It's the first and only little sliver of fear that you've ever seen from him in a day of traveling, where he is the most overt son of a bitch. That's the only time he ever shut up, was because of what Brackle did to him. So he doesn't resist. He is not happy about it though.
I assume that. I mean, they're like in manacles, right?
Yep, wrists and feet.
I assume whatever ladder we're using to get down, we can kind of just give them a hand and they can get down.
Okay, that works for me. Yeah,
but
you walk
if
him
he's
in.
grumbling too much, fuck, push him off that elephant.
I would say that if Brackle were not there, that is a problem you would have. But he is behaving if Brackle is near him.
Nice.
That boy.
Yeah, good boy.
We'll find
Well
we'll find a room well suited for them, and man, what is in there we can tie them down to?
I mean, the window, like the window.
I offer up my my metal bands of binding. We could just wrap them in that, right?
Oh yeah.
I don't know how they actually work, but I really imagine them just being like a big sphere of like fucking metal that just like almost like an Iron Maiden. Just like
like wraps them up.
Yeah.
Just
that works.
Yeah, I don't think it actually specifies how they work. It just says that they restrain them.
I mean, look, they've been on a fucking elephant in the hot Mystic Desert for a day. Let's
just keep their arms or wrists shackled, and they can kind of move around and put them in one of these huts.
We can do the let's just fucking tie their feet together, like tie Voresh to Peep Up.
God.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh
yeah,
because that'll go well.
And then we also so we can just like feed like a chain through this window.
Yeah.
So that like
just wrapped around something solid.
You do it around that, or the equivalent of it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That works.
Try to make them comfortable, but at the same time,
they can't run away.
Give them some slack, but not a lot, sort of idea, right?
Yeah.
I just thought of something I wanted to do to Peep Up.
Do it up.
Okay.
Because there was a brief discussion about it, and I don't want to forget. I'm going to harness divine power, regain a third level slot, and Teth will approach Peep Up
Okay.
and he'll look over at him and just say, "No, it's been an eventful day, but we discussed me potentially trying to fix some stuff." Then kind of gesturing towards his vocal cords or his neck, right?
Huh?
Did you still want me to try?
Hmm.
Okay. So last time, above game, I had tried cleansing touch, which did not work,
Correct.
and there was a potential. I don't remember if there was a check involved or what it was, but there was a chance that dispel magic would work potentially, or it was something that maybe Teth, whether it works or not, but Teth is kind of led to believe that maybe it would work. So he's going to uh, do that at third level.
Make an Arcana check for me, Teth.
Does anyone remember what we tried in him before?
It was definitely cleansing touch, which
Yeah.
specifically
paladin
says
thing.
spells, but it's like if it was a spell, it's kind of OP. If it's a spell, it's ridiculous. I don't know. I'm trying to remember if Eric had like tried lesser or something to that extent as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think.
I don't think he did. I can't remember.
Woohoo.
I remember wanting to try remove curse.
Yeah. Yep. 22 Arcana.
22 Arcana. Okay, so you are casting Dispel Magic on Peep Up, centered on his face and throat.
Yep.
Okay, so as you do this, with a 22 Arcana, you first of all, what does that look like for Teth when he's doing this?
It's funny because typically his dispel magic is really fucking weird. So we're gonna keep going with that. He basically part of his wrist opens up and then almost like a little funnel comes out and it starts trying to draw like a vacuum, kind of imagine, trying to basically pull that whatever energy, or maybe it's like even if it's just like residual magic, or trying to basically disrupt whatever is there, whether it's like a pattern or a sigil in some instances. In this case, it's a person that's afflicted with something.
Okay, so
Yeah.
with a 22, you can sense that you are drawing some magical effect out of Peep Up's body. You sense that the spell is working as it should. You sense that you're not cleansing the entire problem, but you're removing part of it. He still cannot talk afterwards, but he's acting like physically lighter, as if he has been in pain for so long that he just got used to it, and now he's not in pain anymore. And that he's just like, what's happening? What is this crazy magic? Thanks. So he's super psyched. He's really happy.
Yeah. They're trying to think if there's anything.
Mm-hmm. Could I cast an Arcana to like along with watching him do this to see if I can
Yeah, I was gonna say
figure out what it is?
He's actually gonna call Brackle over actually too, so that works out great.
Brackle, make a I hate to keep using Eric's character. I'm gonna say if you call Brackle over, I'm gonna require a medicine check from one or both of you.
Okay.
You can either both roll or one of you with advantage.
If you want to help me, I have a +3, just above game. Your medicine is if it's better than mine.
Mine, absolutely not.
Okay.
Dog shit.
I will also guide myself. Can I guide myself on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
In this happening, Teth will look over at Brackle and just be uh, Winter. Do you have a second to come take a look at this guy? And then he'll kind of elaborate on the situation.
Absolutely.
Not
So-
quite sure what's going on. It's almost like it's not fixing the root cause.
And you tried remove curse before?
No remove curse, but I mean, it's something I can try. It's almost like it's systemic, or there's, it definitely helps. He looks much better, and
Hmm.
Ted looks at Peep Up, and Peep Up's just like happy as shit. Imagine he
Oh,
was
yeah.
just
Almost like he's laughing. Like he's trying to laugh, but he can't get the breath support enough to get it out. So he's just like,
That's frankly a little creepy, Peep Up. I got a 22 medicine.
with a 22. Yeah, good rolls today. With a 22, you are kind of, Teth. Teth is sort of guiding you with his, uh, dispel magic. Kind of, you can kind of sense together where the magic is coming from, and you kind of you've done enough physicals on other soldiers through the casters that you kind of have a sense of where muscles should lay in the body and things like that. You have a rudimentary kind of understanding of where things should go. Um the muscles in his neck are severely atrophied. So you can kind of feel as you're moving around, just like almost complete decay of anything that he would need to produce significant sound.
Mm-hmm.
So you eliminated the pain factor, the magical factor. Um, for complete recovery, your best guess, Brackle, would be some sort of um, just like the transplant or something. His parts are not working the way that they should because they're physically broken.
Does it seem as though it was destroyed or broken magically, like abnormally to him just decaying of the muscle or just being old?
You cannot tell. It that is a little bit above your pay grade. Even with a 22,
Mhm.
you can tell what the source of the problem is. It's hard to tell what the actual cause of that source would be. Um, that's not to say that you couldn't try and ask him about it
Mhm.
or ask Gvorish because they were in prison together.
Mhm.
But just from a strict observational standpoint, you do not know.
Okay.
Nor would Teth.
Well, from what I can tell, uh, and obviously you can see it on him. Obviously, the magic of whatever you dispelled it was causing harm to that area. Um,
yes.
just from feeling around physically, it's everything in his neck is just completely stiff and just broken. Um, not necessarily, almost like rigor mortis. He can still move his neck around, but the internal components are just blown beyond reason.
So you'd have to have a pretty powerful individual that would maybe. Actually, I don't even know if this is something. I think it's a common enough of a concept that Teth would know, but just regeneration or like restoration of that kind.
And if only we had a cleric with regeneration.
Yeah.
That seems like that might do the trick if we could find somebody like that.
Yeah.
It
Well,
does
I don't
seem
know
to
if
be more
we can get
medical based now as opposed to magical. It seems like you
Yeah.
aided
Well.
him there.
At least you're not in pain anymore, right, buddy?
Hmm?
Give a little.
Gorish. Or is it Gorvish? Gorvish?
Gavorish.
Gavorish.
GV.
Gavorish. You guys were together for quite a while. Was he always mute, or did something happen when you guys were together?
I'm not talking to you.
Urzak immediately fucking socks him. He's been,
Yeah,
he's
make
been,
it a
he's
tech
been
roll.
waiting for a reason.
Roll for it.
I want to dispense justice. Let me dispense justice. That's what
18.
you should
Oh,
beat
yeah,
the shit
yeah.
out of somebody. Let me dispense justice. Yeah, he dispensed justice for that guy.
And lend is his name. I punched you in the face. Yeah, he'll take it. It definitely it's a solid hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Oh, it's 6 damage.
Oh yeah. He'll take it. Immediately, his face starts bruising a little bit. You can see on his kind of grayish blue skin, it starts to darken and swell a little bit. It's like, God, son of a bitch. Fine. Yeah, we've been in the same place for 3 or 4 years now.
And
And we've been in the same place for 3 or 4 years now. That's all I know.
was he always mute while you've been together?
Yeah.
I'll insight him.
Okay.
Not so hard, was it?
That was just an 11.
He's not actively trying to deceive you, but he's definitely being difficult on purpose.
Gotcha.
I'm going to say with an 11, it's kind of difficult to read him.
Mhm.
He's always kind of angry and difficult, so it's hard to tell if he's being forthright or not.
I'll do a cure wounds on him, just like a first level.
Okay.
Be like, well, if you happen to remember, let me know.
And while that magic is going on, and he feels the magic going over him, I'm going to use detect thoughts.
Ooh,
Uh,
And then I
Roll
punch him
me
again.
and-
triple interrogation. Good cop, bad
Throw-
cop, cop, mind reader cop.
Throw me an Arcana check, Vern, to see if you can thread the needle perfectly, to overlap all of those things, so he doesn't know what you're doing.
If we had like a real interrogation room, like Urzak and I would be inside the office, and then Vern would be like behind the mirror, but there's no mirror. It's just
Behind
glass.
the
and
two-way
just like
glass,
Ed-
yeah.
just Ed staring at him, no emotion.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say with a 20, he has no idea you're trying to read his mind.
Okay, only at this level, or why not?
At the base level. At the base
Okay.
level, we'll check again to see if you want to probe deeper.
So, what are his base level thoughts as he's thinking about
His base level
the
thoughts.
3 to 4 years
He
he's
think
spent with people, maybe?
well, his base level thoughts are not about P-Pup. His base
Oh.
level thoughts are how much he detests traveling with all of you. He is afraid of Brackle.
Okay.
He thinks that, ironically, he thinks that Brackle is the one that's trying to play mind games with him. He's not afraid of Urzak at all. He thinks that the punch actually was a bit weak. He's taken harder hits in the past. And he has consistently been trying to size himself up to Teth. Physically, no comparison. Teth is way, way bigger. He's just, anytime he thinks of Teth, he just tries to like like flex and puff up his muscles as much as he can to assert his ego as much as possible. So that's just like kind of on a loop, just like being as aggro as possible.
Vern is a little disappointed that his name didn't come up in his thoughts, and he wants
He's
to.
not even thinking about you at all. Not even registering.
Vern's thinking like he realizes that I'm a descendant from dragons, right?
We just see Vern
Nope.
outside, like go,
Could not care
and
less.
like walk away.
Oh, God damn it!
That's it then. I want to try to dig just one. Can I try digging like one layer deeper?
Yeah. Let's see. So he needs a wisdom save. Yeah. Let me pull up his stat block.
Technically, since I hit him with an attack, he gets disadvantage on his next saving throw.
That is true. Are you going to hit him again? I heard.
No,
that
I'm not hitting him again. No. It's a joke.
Okay.
Vern can always whisper in your ear what he thinks about you.
Then he's gonna take the fucking handcuffs off.
Fist to fist, man to man, Gavoresh. Let's go.
I still got 112 hit points. I'm ready.
What?
No, Vern always wants to cultivate friendship, so he's gonna take those thoughts with him to the grave. He's not gonna tell Urzok that this guy thinks he's weak.
So his wisdom. He's pretty good with wisdom. It's +7.
Jesus Christ.
26.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, he has disadvantage. 18. Is that any better? What does he need to be below? I don't have the spell up.
What is your DC? 18?
It's 18. He got
Damn
it.
Almost.
Dang.
Keep your secrets.
I will say because he has disadvantage, he, at least to your credit, does not know that you've tried to pry deeper. So I'll give that to you.
Okay. Vern will pull himself out of his mind and just kind of slip back in with the group. Wherever I was. I think I was always with them, but
Above game, if we were trying to do a remove curse and peep up, Greater Restoration also removes a curse.
It's true. Eric is the only one that knows it, and he only has one 5th level spell slot left.
Also, 100
Yeah, that's the expensive
gold,
part.
and so.
I was say remove curse isn't too bad. It's a 3rd level, but I think we kind of figured out it was just his throat was atrophied, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be your best guess, yes. At this point, it looks pretty physical, and not so much not so much magical.
Can I take a look at it and see if I can fashion something?
What, a new voice box in
I don't know.
vocal cords?
Maybe so.
You can try. Yeah,
This is your chance to work with Hargrave on something.
Ooh, you can. It can be like some type of like amplifier, almost like a like a hearing aid, but it's kind of like that, but it's like a speaking aid.
So what's your idea first? What are you gonna try and make for him?
Let's see. How do vocal cords work?
Vibration.
It'll be a combination of bands that can still like vibrate and I guess hit together. And then it's going to be and then almost like he'll have to be okay with this. May have to put him under, but like what's
I was gonna say, how are you gonna get this inside of him?
What's it called when like smokers get that like little hole here? What is that again? What's it?
A stoma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's gonna have that, but it'll be like a little like gramophone thing sticking out of his neck. And so when he talks, it'll come out of the neck.
We-
That's wild. But yeah, okay. So, first of all, roll for medicine for me to inspect the site to get
Oh no.
your measurements
Okay.
to see if you.
Can I aid him? Give him advantage because I was like telling
Yeah.
him what exactly I felt or what I thought was wrong.
That'd be
Hey,
Yeah,
fantastic.
roll
Bebop.
medicine with
Ooh.
advantage.
Although my first roll is a 19, so that's great.
Ooh.
I think got plus
Yeah,
0, which isn't great, but
roll one more time just to see if you get. No, okay.
Nope. Okay.
With a 19, I would say you pretty soundly have a good grasp, along with how Brackle explained what he did and what he discovered. I think that you have a good enough idea. Maybe you kind of just look him over and feel his throat and uh, make sure that you make something that's sustainable to be put inside of a person.
right. Hmm.
Yeah, that is good enough. Yes.
Okay.
Or is this something that you want to try out here in the desert?
I was gonna
Or-
say,
No, I
is
just want to. I don't want to do the surgery right now. I'll make a mental note of it all and start planning it in my spare time, like on little
Okay.
blueprints and things. Because I
Okay,
want to make
fair.
sure this counts. I'm not gonna like carve into a man's neck and mess this thing up.
Yeah,
So
well, we
Oh,
lost the
that's what it
hospital.
looks like inside of here. Dang it. I made this way too big. This isn't going to work.
Ash, practice on Gavorish first.
Yeah. Whose neck is like 5 times the size of Peepup's. Basically a direct translation. We'll be fine. Great. Good rolling, guys, so far. Not to jinx you for the rest of the session, but
Yeah.
so far these have been great. At this point, you're going to see Hargrave is down here close to the entrance, and she is planting things under the sand. So you'll see little holes down here. Kind of, I'll mark them. She's just kind of going along the line here, planting them. Urzak, are you actually right here, or were you up with the party?
I would
I
probably
guess
be
you
over.
pushed it.
Yeah.
If anybody saw her walking over there, we'll say at least some of you did, watching her grab things out of her pack. They're like little claws, kind of the reverse of like the claw game that you pick stuff up in. It's just that upside down, and she's planting them into the ground. They are traps. If anybody crosses that line, they're going to get chomped and sucked down into the sand.
Brutal.
She's got gadgets for everything, guys.
Well,
Well, now that we have all the prisoners situated, I can definitely take first watch tonight. We start settling down for nighttime routines.
I have. So something interesting happened when we went through the portal. We came out into an area we've never been before, and somewhere that is not on. It wasn't on this plane, right?
That's correct. It was the same plane as the cemetery. It is the higher plane of Arcadia.
We actually popped out into the higher plane of Arcadia. And actually, lucky enough, our friend Silgath was just on the other side when we came out. So that was interesting.
That seems incredibly convenient.
Do you have
What do you think
anything?
it's? Do you think it was like an illusion or something?
Hmm,
Can I think back on it and like try and rack my brain to see if there was anything that stood out that was weird?
I will let you make a perception check at disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Okay.
What you didn't mention is the entire time he had no pants on.
Are you peeing in this pool, Silgath? What are you doing?
His legs were small, like baby legs. Oh, damn it. It's still all right. 14.
um, everything with a 14, I think Brackle would be shocked enough to see him that your perception is skewed a little bit. You're kind of taking everything at face value. You the pool definitely felt wet. The pool that you dropped into was water, or it definitely seemed like water. Your clothes were wet when you came back, um, but you also left from a pool, so it's kind of not a totally secure point of reference. Silgath appeared to be real. He also didn't interact with anything else that was in the setting, so there's nothing really tangible to connect him to either. Uh, it was in a forest that looked very similar to the forests around Mir, so it looked very familiar to you. It definitely felt different, but being on a different plane of existence would account for that. Um, with a 14, I would say that Brackle would the feeling of being there would be familiar enough from when you were in the cemetery to basically confirm that you were on a different plane for sure. It felt the same.
Okay.
As far as the total reality of everything else, a 14 is not high enough to guarantee yes or no.
Right. Well, it it seemed quite real. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we can have Eric. I mean, we can have maybe Brad check next turn or whatever next session. Um, to me, it seemed real. I don't know 100% for sure though. Um, now I'm spacing on what he said. Trying to.
well, I will say,
I don't have my journals at work.
um, Silgath in general is a very spiritual man, and I I think meeting him in the first place was also very convenient. Perhaps he's a man bound to his fate.
It's true. I mean, we started with Sean, and then that kind of led us to him. Well, once I get my journal, I'll remember what he said.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
remember either. I'm thinking about it.
I can't remember either.
we'll all go back and watch YouTube.
Two sessions ago. It's a long time ago for me.
He did tell me. Blah, 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 blah. Edited.
I
That
know
sounds
that he
like something
talked about
Silgath would
Shaw.
say.
Yeah. He said that seeing the two of you there, he assumed you hadn't found Shaw yet, but he had faith that you would.
Mhm.
He told you about the travel system and how unstable it was. He
Mhm.
told you that you were in Arcadia. Trying to think if he had anything else important to say. I can't remember what you guys asked him, is the thing.
Yeah.
If I knew the questions that you asked, I would know how he would respond.
The
But I
only
can't
thing I
remember. That's
remember
We
is
asked.
saying Marowell wasn't there right now.
Yeah.
That she was
Yeah.
off doing something else.
I know we asked if there was anything he's found out about, uh, like the casters or anything, but it's only been like 4 weeks or whatever it's been. It's not been long enough. And I think he said like the time distortion is a little strange too between planes.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if I actually said this. It should have been insinuated that he has had a lot more time to operate than you guys have. He's moving faster through his time than you guys are through the material plane.
Okay. I think that was it. I don't think there was another thing that
I think so too. I'll go back and look at it though. I'll go and watch it after our session.
I don't think he had like a
To-
prophecy to say.
See,
But I do
No,
that does not sound like Sogath. Maybe
I remember
maybe
coming
he was a
back
fake.
though and Donovan making a retort about saying something that Silgath said. Or maybe you're just saying that we meant Silgath. But
It was to the effect of Marwell
Hmm.
whenever there's
Yeah.
that encounter.
I remember saying you started asking him things, and I was like, "No, just ask him how he is." Like,
Right. So you're just here.
I'm getting down to brass tacks.
Please help us get back, Stilgath. I'm sure you're fine. Bye.
we're sorry you're dead, but
I say
Sorry, yeah. Sorry you died right in front of us and we didn't do anything and left your body there.
hey, it's just the way it goes, the way of the road.
Live by the road, you die by the road.
Cool. Yeah, I just wanted to tell everybody of that exchange. So there is there's a possibility we're able to get back to that plane using these vortexes, but we'd need another key at least, or key to there, I'd say. Oh, I asked him if there's a way to contact, and he said not really. I think was the other. If there was a way to communicate with him.
That sounds correct. I believe that was part of it too.
So that's what happened. And then we got shot up into the orb, and then the brain came out.
well, I'm glad they seem like they're doing all right.
Yeah, he seemed like he was doing well. I mean, I think he still misses Shaw, and he still wants us to complete that mission for sure. So I think other than that, he's doing well.
You guys gonna start settling down?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think so.
All right. After all of the inspections with Peep Up and talking to Gavorish and things like that, we're nearing 8 o'clock, 8:30 here. It is objectively darker outside. The sun is going down, and it is beginning to get colder. We're talking like 60 degrees, 55 degrees now. It's a pretty steep drop in temperature as the sun goes down. Feels like as it gets darker, it'll only get colder. But you are within the walls, so there's no wind or anything. It's just kind of the innate chill of the air. And Coil is down here by himself under this awning. He kind of sat down there right when we entered and hasn't moved since. Hargrave will just sit across from him, just watching him, making sure he doesn't screw anything else up. She's also watching the entrance, and you guys are free to make camp however you'd like to make camp.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Rezak already offered to take first watch. This is pretty much the only way in to this place as far as we can tell, right?
Correct.
Okay. He will awkwardly complete the triangle of no talking but weird eye contact.
Perfect.
Just a Coil looks at
j-
Hargrave and then looks at Urzok and then looks down and then looks over at Burn.
like his worst nightmare too. Like the
Yeah.
most like survival hardy, the two most survival hardy creatures there, sitting down right next to him. Fuck me, dude. Yeah, he definitely won't say anything. Hargrave will kind of give you a nod. Again, you guys are used to working together, not super regularly, but you have enough of a working relationship to be comfortable with each other. So she's not uh, going to question whether or not you will do a good job watching.
Yeah, and then for the next hour, I believe maybe 2 hours. However long, he is going to start infusing a spell into his armor.
All right,
And it is going to
where
be
are from a scroll?
yep.
Hell yeah,
It is my scroll of knock.
hell yeah. All right,
Is
yeah, I
this
think it
something
was
you
2 hours. Right?
Uh,
I can't remember.
for each level of spell, it takes 1 hour. I think knock's second level. Also going to cruise around and ask somebody for gemstones because I know we got a ton.
Ooh, yes, me too.
Uh,
Gemstone
gotcha.
request.
what kind?
2 hours and a gemstone worth at least 100 gold pieces, which the infusion consumes.
A gemstone that no one else will use.
A better question. Above game. Trent, is there a specific gemstone that you need for your eye?
Yep. Can I?
About a dozen of them.
There's so many. Yeah, hang on.
Do you need like one of
But
each?
some are better than others though.
Oh,
So each gemstone is connected to a different eldritch invocation.
ah,
So you can swap the gemstones out to get different effects.
so is it? It's permanent for that. Basically, you put a ruby in, and then he has agonizing blast, and then
Right.
that just
Until
Yeah.
I remove
until you swap it out, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So Ruby is what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Add my charisma modifier. Yes.
Uh,
Fair enough.
I'll give Urzok upon request. He was looking for what 100 GP.
Yep.
He'll actually
There
let
you
me look up the color of one thing. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, he'll come over and hand Urzok a small 100 GP ruby, and then go over to Vern and give him a ruby, 100 GP ruby.
I think mine needs to be
Burns has to
200.
be at least 200.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I lied. I misread that. So the
He looks at your small ruby and frowns. As only
I lied. I have
Is that the only
Yeah.
ruby you have?
It's really hard to impress Vern.
I
That's
misread
it?
what I wrote.
100
and-
gold.
No, I have one 200 GP ruby and then two 100 GP opals. So Urzok gets an opal, that's 100 GP, and then Vern gets a 200 GP ruby.
nice.
Uh, and that is all. Teth is going to go concentrate on a spell and do some Talos shit later.
Nice. Yeah, so we'll continue with Urzok real quick.
Yes.
You are infusing knock. So you will
Knock.
take 2 hours and you'll have to do that while you're scouting so you can get your full rest.
Yeah, he's just gonna sit kind of over here by the entrance. He's going to lay the scroll over his. It'll be like his right chest plate. And he will start invoking the magic of the plate of 1,000 fables, and over time the paper begins to dissolve and is absorbed by the plate, and then the runes upon the scroll are all that remains.
Nice.
And the gems in there too. Totally.
Yeah. Just like melts in and becomes part of the metal.
It is really, it's like an interesting concept of like how are gems so prudent to magic casting? Like, does that mean that gems are innately magical things that they like possess like a density of the weave? Like would also
Yep.
suggest that like different gemstones have different aspects of the weave like entwined with them.
That makes sense
I
to me.
think it's like they act more like conduits, so they're not innately magical, but they just like process magic
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
in
Different
different
way.
ways.
That's kind of
Like
like
if
a
you
little bit
cast
like
magic
Aragon.
through them, yeah, like if you look through a kaleidoscope, the different ways you turn it, like different beads have different colors. So you look through one way and you see more blue or you see more red.
It's interesting. Yeah, that's what he does while he's on watch.
Nice.
Uh,
Urzak, you can add knock to your spell list.
yeah, that is the interesting thing.
I might have to do it on the item. I can just
Let's
edit it as
try.
you go.
Yeah, I will let you know unless I find something better.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to do that. It's not like you're going to be infusing and uninfusing a bunch of spells all at once all the time. So
Oh, just you wait.
editing. That's true. That's true. Cool. Let's hop over to Vern. What are you doing with your time over the course of? I guess. What are you doing to prepare for your rest?
Um, well, the action that I want to do now that Tef handed me this beautiful ruby is I want to try to hop into my workshop and file it down to fit my eyeball. But
Okay.
what do you think my odds are of being successful at that? Is filing down a stone to fit something, would that be like a tinkering kind of skill? Would Vern feel like he could even do that, or is that something he would want to wait until he can talk to a professional?
I would say you'd need jeweler's supplies for that.
Jeweler
Uh,
supply. Okay.
you could try with Tinker's tools, but I wouldn't give you the normal
Yeah.
bonuses.
I don't want to ruin
Uh,
a 200 GP ruby. So
I would say to keep it safe, you should ask a professional. Yes,
that's
in
fine.
my DM opinion.
Okay. I will do just that. Then I guess I'll just start sketching out plans for Peep Up's eventual voice box.
Okay. Where are you
Restructuring
holding up?
structure. Vern is gonna pick probably the biggest bedroom just so he can feel more comfortable. Because
Okay.
now, his whole thing was he wanted to rough it and be like one of the commoners, but he's done that for a while now. So now he kind of misses a little bit of luxury. He wants to treat himself
Yeah.
tonight. So he'll find
Okay.
the master suite.
Yeah.
And
So if you go into this lower area right here, there's definitely kind of like back in this area. There's a bed. There, like we were talking about a few weeks ago, there are several pieces of furniture, all empty. But like if you keep everything closed, it looks like you have a bunch of stuff in your room. Uh, yeah, and that's the biggest location. There's also a kind of an area over here if somebody else wants to go in there, and a smaller room up in here. But you are under this wall right here, so you're in that kind of area,
okay.
and everybody else is gone. You guys are the only ones left.
um Something that Vern is realizing that he's been walking a lot with religious people, and
Yeah.
I think if we gather around a bonfire, he's he's not a religious person himself, and so he'd be curious to hear the case for these different gods, and maybe he'll start practicing a little bit, or at least he's curious. He likes to learn new things.
Yeah. So the rest is 8 hours long. Hargrave she'll notice that Urzak is taking the first couple hours, so she will sleep first. So she'll take a stretch in the middle. Um, who are you interested in hearing from? Like, who would you want to be up taking watch with?
I don't know who do I
Do
wanna-
me.
Yeah, I kind of want to hear about all of them. Like, let's see. So I have what? Lendis, Talos,
Hi,
and
baby.
then what's this one again? What's the dome guy?
We have two of them in there.
Oh,
Palar.
oh,
Palor.
Taylor.
Palor.
In the grand
Yeah.
scheme of D&D, not in any way, shape, or form a lesser deity. It's very funny to see him put that
Yeah.
way, though.
He's a big sun daddy.
Yeah.
You ready to go night night? Did you
I'll,
have fun outside? Yeah.
I think Vern will just join Urzak on that first watch.
Fine, don't let me be crazy.
You'd be crazy with someone else.
Trying to make sure both our cats are up here right now. So I'm making sure they don't eat any of my plants.
Bad case.
Yeah,
Cats do love to nom.
they do. Juniper was here in my lap briefly. She's not really.
Yeah, I did see a cat back there. Is it like a
Yeah.
tuxedo cat?
Yeah, that's the one we got in August, and our black cat is just like chilling over here. But I really don't know where Juniper is now. Hang on.
Titties and titties. Titties.
It's a kitty.
Yeah,
Kitty.
she's getting so fat though. Look at the camera. No, no, at the camera.
It's just absolutely
cute.
not.
She's usually very sweet, but they're usually not allowed up here, so this is very much a new space for them.
Oh, yeah.
So she's like covered in dust, but she's like exploring little crevices and things. Here, just hop up here.
Sorry about that interruption. Did I hear correctly that you're going to chill with Urzak?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask about
So you'll be on the first watch with Urzak. We will circle back to the two of you. So you're kind of drawing up plans, making your bed, and then heading out to sit with Urzak. We're gonna jump over to Brackle Bath. What are you doing before the rest begins? Slash,
Nothing.
what? Which shift would you like? Would you like the second shift or the fourth shift?
I'll do this fourth one.
Okay.
I don't think he really does that much. I think he's kind of tired magically wise. Yeah, I don't think there's anything specific he is really doing right now. Maybe I guess he ponders and thinks how he could promote Sekala with what he's doing. Not sure
Okay.
yet. Not sure how, but he thinks on it.
Okay. That's always a conversation we could have during the shift too. Because either Coil or Gvoresh will be awake with you at that point. So we'll see how that goes. I'll roll for that. Cool. Teth, are you doing anything in preparation for The rest, Urzok and Vern, are taking first watch, so you will sleep for 2 hours and then wake up when they are done. You're taking second shift.
Teth would mention, I guess, who would have? I don't know. Does does anybody in particular in the party hoard potions, or
I have a
do we get potions in this campaign? Is that a thing?
Herzog has a few.
I was going to say, Urzok bought a couple from
I have
Colm.
1 potion of healing.
I don't know if Eric has potions. Eric does not have any potions.
What potion? Oh, I'm not even gonna ask.
Eric has Truth Serum.
Sorry. Okay. So yeah, that being the case, Urzok's on first watch anyway. So maybe before Teth goes and gets comfortable, he'll pull out a small kind of. Well, it was one of the magic items that we had found in the hoard, and it is a small kind of reddish-looking, kind of looks like a red cup almost, with like gold bands around it, and he kind of goes over towards Urzok and shows him this, or pulls out the item and kind of starts to explain this this item that we found back in the Hellmouth. It seems like if you were to pour a potion into it and throw some gold into it, it makes the potion stronger. I haven't quite tried it out yet. I was thinking about letting it brew during my watch, but I don't have any potions of healing, so that's kind of me showing you this thing. If you would like to try it out, I'd be more than happy to do it for you. If not, completely fine.
Does it seem exclusive to healing potions?
Yes.
Well, I will contribute to your studious endeavors. And Urzok will reach into his pouch and produce a potion of superior healing.
Oh shit.
I don't know if there's there is a supreme, so it can't get bigger.
Mamma
Yeah.
mia.
Yep, that will definitely work. Okay, yeah. And to clarify, DM, this item can only be used if you're. I guess it's not attuned, but I assume it's. I guess it's not attunable. It's not attune. You don't have to attune to it, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that being the case, Tess completely okay doing that during his watch. He probably thinks honestly that like Herzog's smart and has smart things he can do to entertain himself, and then Tess like, I got a red cup.
At this point, he would be like putting the scroll on his plate.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, yeah, he's clearly has more important shit to work on.
And that will cost you 40 gold, Teth. That's max hit point regeneration from a superior healing potion.
That's what 8d4 plus 8.
ET4 plus 8, yeah, that's 40 gold.
Okay. Well, I'll do that later, and hopefully it turns out well. And if not, well, I owe you like 2,000 gold or however much this cost. But I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm sure, yeah, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So we'll start the rest. Brackle and Teth, you are out of commission for a while. Urzok and Vern, you are now the only two awake in camp. You are down by Hargrave's traps. At least I think. I don't know where Vern went. There he is. Is there anything in particular that you'd like to talk about? What are you guys discussing?
Yeah. Um. Vern will say, yeah, with all these orbs and now this shrine, maybe I've been missing out on not being a religious man and thinking that, you know, and maybe I worshipped gold and my family name a little too long growing up. And I don't know, what has Lendis done for you? Do you feel like he'd be a good fit for me if I was religious curious?
Well, it's an interesting thing you mentioned. It's something I often think about. You see, I was, as you may or may not know, raised in the Temple of Lendis from almost the day that I was born. I was provided shelter by those who lived their lives for him. So I, even from a non-religious standpoint, I I owe my life to him and his followers. But what often troubles my mind is if I grew up in House Weatherby, would I still have found a faith in Lendis? Can honestly say, logistically, logically, probably not. Um,
Hmm.
but to answer your question, do I think Vern Weatherby would be a good fit for Lendis? Um,
Yeah, you know me well at this point, and we're paragons and all. So, what do you think? Am I a good fit for the Church of Lendis? I mean, justice, right? That sounds good. I think justice is important.
I think I think Lendis would be lucky to have you do anything in his honor. However, well, let me ask you a question. This railroad system that you have grandiose plans for, uh, why? What motivates you to do such a thing?
Well, obviously, as you can tell, I don't need more money. Um, so it's always been to sort of give back in a way. I've always felt very blessed, maybe too blessed with having magic in my blood and coming from a wealthy background. I really wanted to sort of equalize. Maybe equalize is not the right word, but like bring more equality to the continent and allow people to, like, for example, move freely and go where they want and not necessarily be stuck in whatever squalor in some corner of Azura they find themselves. And of course, I have my plans of what you saw for yourself: the injections, the pills, trying to share magic in small ways. And I see this railway system as a fantastic way of getting that out to people and to the far corners, so everyone can experience a little bit of magic and feel special. So what do you think? Would Lendis appreciate a project like that?
I do. I think Lendis appreciates a great many things, and I think you have a just heart. I think you you want good, and you speak to equality, which is perhaps a founding core element of Lendis's followers. But I don't know. I'm not sure I'm the right person to ask, if I'm being honest. As I said, I've only known this my entire life.
Hmm.
But should you want to know more about Lendis, or it seems like you're in some search of a deity to serve. Um, I have a vast knowledge of many religious things and icons and lesser deities, greater deities, Presidium gods. Uh, there, there are archons as well. Um, if we have time here, I could perhaps help you pick something out.
Hmm. Yeah, I'd appreciate that. It's one of those areas where I didn't devote too much of my studies. Bit of magic, bit of tinkering and building, but not so much in religion. So definitely always wanting to learn more.
Well, the
And if
temple
not for
was
myself, then I feel like I can better connect to the masses if I have a broader understanding of the religions of this place.
sure. As a child, the temple was always very strict about religious studies, amongst other things. Uh, and I dare say despised it as a child. Thought it was pointless to serve a god and learn of others. But in my older age, I've come to appreciate that uh, it's necessary to understand where others come from. It's necessary to understand that people on the other side of the continent didn't grow up in a temple of Lendis, and to understand their perspective. So, uh, Urzak will uh, he'll reach into his pack and pull out a tome. It is a old. The inside is very old. The pages are crumpled and dirty, and the ink is bleeding. Um, Legible, but it's not fresh. The outer layer is leather and bound and fresh and well maintained. He hands Vern the notebook and peels to a page, probably 100 pages in. This is Urzak's personal notebook that seems to have followed him through a large passage of time. And before you is a amalgamation of notes regarding deities in Azura.
Thank you, Urzak. I can borrow this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, oh, wow, this is awkward. I thought this was like a gesture you.
It's just that I listen. I don't want to express distrust in you. You're very capable, and your magical powers are, uh, in some ways, far superior to mine. Uh, they sometimes are. You remember the entrance we had to Farinth? Or I'm sorry, not Farinth. Kazul. The great,
No,
the
it's a
great,
little,
the great
little
fight we
fuzzy.
had,
Yeah.
and there you were, floating in the air, and
Ah, yes.
your magic was too much for you to handle, and you exploded.
I, I see your point. That's
Actually, hold on, hold the thought. I have a great solution. And Urzak is going to pull out a Duggar's
Do it.
Tome.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
there you go.
He's
know
going to
you had
make
one of those.
he's going to make a copy of his notebook for you.
Well, perfect.
This one is all yours, my friend.
Thank you, Urzak.
As I said, I know your magic's a bit more chaotic than a lot of the things that I deal with, but I hope in some ways your curious mind can be satiated as you scroll through the notes of my life.
Certainly, I'll no doubt find it enlightening. Thank you, Urzak. And
Above.
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, go
Well,
ahead.
I'll say Vern. As we continue the watch, Vern will be sort of leafing through the pages and half being lookout, but also studying.
We're both very distracted for a lookout.
Yeah, we're not doing very well. Having two lookouts right now.
Thankfully, there's a godly barrier and 4 blast shields and 3 elephants
Exactly.
in front of you.
I do have a question for you, Bros. Before
Yeah.
we get too far from this, can I attempt to recall other dragon gods specifically? So I know Vern is a
Bronze dragon.
bronze dragon.
Hmm.
So they are lawful dragons, and Lendis is akin to all of the metallic dragons. Is there one that I think might perhaps be more suited for him, or
Yes. So,
maybe
let's
even
see.
a god of I don't know, like a god of like maybe not the right term, but like curiosity or intrigue.
So there is a dragon god. Um, Sorry, I'm just going through my
It doesn't have to be a now answer either.
list
I feel
here.
like this is or isn't a big moment for Vern.
Right. So that actually is what I was going to talk about as well. So if you are looking at dragon gods, I have a list of them already that you can look through and choose from. If you are looking to give him a direct suggestion right now, the best thing that fits the question that you asked, there is an emerald dragon named Halal, Hlal. She is the dragon deity of humor and storytelling. She is chaotic good.
Hmm.
So that might fit. There's also, let's see.
That's exactly what I thought.
I don't know how to pronounce this dragon's name. Asterinian, Asterinian. Asterinian. That sounds right. She is a brass dragon deity of inquisitiveness, status, and wealth.
Okay.
It's a little on the nose.
Yeah, yeah. But she's a brass dragon, so that or you're. I always mix them up. You're not.
Bronze.
You're a bronze.
One.
Uh,
Tomato.
there. Yeah. There's a dragon goddess of life, light, and mercy named Tamara. She is
Camera.
a gold dragon. She is described as being an ally of Palor.
Oh,
So you could ask Eric to get you in with her if you'd like. She is neutral good, so less chaotic, but maybe a step in the right direction for Vern.
for some grounding.
Yeah. I think I suppose above game Trent, you can kind of look into gods that are already established and try and find one that Urzak just has notes on in
Okay.
his journal. Um, that's something that I'd definitely want you to bring to the table more so than me giving you a list of options.
Sure.
Um, but whatever you find, we can always make a dragon god for, because the list of canon dragon gods is kind of limited. So if you find a god that you like, we can just make a new one and plug it into the world. Because there are several gods that I have in the pantheon that don't exist in the Wizards of the Coast pantheons. Um,
I'll say this: I was looking
So-
at Asterinian.
Yeah.
And this article, interestingly enough, labels travel, and it's learning, invention, and travel
Ooh.
as they serve as one of the messengers to Io or Bahamut.
Interesting. Oh, I was
But
reading
yeah,
the wrong thing.
but also what you said. I'm sure there's several articles that are of different
Yeah.
opinion.
But yeah, figure out what type of deity you want to follow, and we'll craft one for you. Because everybody else has kind of been able to do that.
Yeah. Does Brackle have
I suppose
a god
less
under
so
the-
Brackle, but once you take your oath Brackle, like once you make that contract, then we can start building Sekala out together.
Okay.
But
Hey,
uh,
just level
yeah.
us up, and I can do that.
do something better than killing an Elder Brain, and then we'll level you guys up.
He wasn't even there.
Yeah, but I made it.
No. Yeah. If it wasn't for Brackle, there wouldn't have even been a fight.
But yeah, he'll give Vern the notebook, and he'll briefly kind of go over the dragon gods, at least that seem in his vein. And then he'll go back to putting the runes in his plate, and he'll stop for a minute and ask, I I have to ask, where did your desire to seek out divinity come from?
Well, I feel like I've been learning a lot about myself and the world since I've been on this journey with you guys, and all of you seem to have very rich spiritual lives, and I'm just rich, right? So I really wanted to expand my horizons and see if there was, I don't know, something I was like truly missing out on.
I will add once again that I think religion is more important as an establishing role in one's life. It teaches people morals and kind of gives them a code to live by. For many, it's a way of knowing right from wrong, or in some cases, from my perspective at least, teaching them the wrong from the right. But if your heart's in the right place, you can and will find it. But Vern, I think your moral code is, or your moral compass is already pointing in a great direction. And I encourage you to remember that throughout this journey you're about to partake.
Thank you, Ursak.
Of course.
As you guys continue your shift, it does begin to get considerably colder. We'll say everybody starts the process around 9 o'clock is when everybody goes down. So you're nearing about 10:45, 11 o'clock. It's about time to switch shifts with Teth. And as one of you will go and wake him and He'll start to get ready to take over. As you're both drifting off to sleep, Urzak, you have you finish your scroll. The bands around your armor are full of uh, new glyphs. You can sense the magic in your armor, and as you're drifting off to sleep, you have a very realistic vision of Gendrul, and she doesn't say anything. She's just standing in front of you. You can see in the way that she looks at you that she is overwhelmingly proud of how far you have come in the last couple of months. Your openness to new ideas, your willingness to share with others that aren't just citizens of Farinth or creatures of the desert. She instills in you a sense of peace that you can carry into your sleep tonight. That you have done a good job. You've lived up to her standards, which, from an intelligence point of view, were always much, much higher than yours. And in a similar vein, Vern, you've become more worldly. You've become more human. You've surrounded yourself with people that are not like you. You've taken the plunge into a pool that was far deeper than you ever could have expected. And even though you haven't quite hit the ground yet, you're much more comfortable being immersed in this world. And you have a similar vision. The other creature that comes to you is your mother. Again, she doesn't say anything. But you are also filled with an overwhelming sense of her pride in you. As if wherever she is, she can see your growth, and she approves of all of the forward motion that you're making in your life. And with those visions, with those ideas ringing in your heads, both of you drift off to sleep. And Teth, you are going to take over for the second watch of the night. And as you wake up, as you're kind of positioning yourself wherever you'd like to position yourself, you hear a low grunt behind you. And a deep rumbling voice says, "Ugh, I can never sleep at this time of night. Damn it."
Urzak wakes up to punch him.
Good.
Is he just speaking out loud?
He'll if you looked over at him, he's looking at you. He'll notice that you are also kind of alert and awake. You get the idea that he doesn't know how to interact with you because you are not human, and he is very used to sizing himself up against other biological creatures. He is stronger than most, and with you, he has no frame of reference as to your level of power. He just is lost. So I think he's just trying a shot in the dark to get into your head, into your head space, not trying to like game you or anything.
Yeah.
He's not that smart.
Is there anything that makes you sleep better?
No. You?
I don't sleep.
God, that'd be nice.
I also don't breathe. That's nice.
Yeah. That'd help up in the mountains. and he'll like check himself. Like he got a little bit excited there, and he let out a little chuckle, and he'll reel himself back in. Like he's a man. He's not showing any emotion, whether it's good or bad.
Have you ever had the opportunity to feel absolutely nothing?
Mm. Long time ago, before I was in, there was some hallucinogenic magic that a couple of us would partake in.
Kind of nice, to be honest.
Yeah. I haven't done any of that in years, though. I'm a man of a certain path now.
Path you chose.
First, it was chosen for me. Not saying that you can't score stuff like that inside, but it's costly. I don't have that much money. After a while, I adopted the faith myself. Just decided to. You know what? I don't know why I'm telling you any of this. God damn it.
You are welcome to keep speaking. If you would not, if you do not, that is fine. And
I look over at Peepup.
Yeah. Are they chained together?
They are chained together, yeah. And Peepup's still sleeping. I look back at you. Are you going down there to keep watch?
Pretty perceptive from here. And then he'll kind of prop up on the. This is like a rock face.
Yeah.
Just kind of prop up on it a little bit. He's got robot ears, so he's not super.
Right.
Yeah. Super concerned. But still gonna try to stay alert.
What are you made of?
A lot of things. Winter Steel's the big one.
Mm.
They mentioned, and then Teth pauses for a second, and he's gonna do an insight check.
See if he can.
Okay.
See if there's any particular interest in what he's made out of, as in, like, just is
He scrap you for parts.
interested. Yeah, interested, or like he's actually a spy of some kind that he's trying to figure out how to put it together a killcaster.
Yeah, roll insight.
Oh, this would go great. I have a +2. Nice. 7.
With a 7, you get the idea that he is trying to pry for more information. Whether or not that is the correct perception, you don't know. You're getting weird vibes from him. Yeah.
There's a lot of things, and to be honest, I'm not a technical person when it comes to that. There used to be a rumor that they had taken a fragment of a god and then infused it in Arcana, and then injected that into us to give us life, sentience, purpose.
I had a knife made of winter steel once. It was sharp as fuck.
Good knife. Good steel.
Yeah. I lost it. It fell off of a cliffside. I wish I still had it, though.
Is there redemption for you? Or are you just living out the rest of your life as is?
I've found in every place that I've ever gone that, and maybe you can relate to this, maybe not. I don't know. Everyone I meet sees how I look, hears how I talk, sees my lack of general manners, and they make sure that I know that I am less than they are. So one day I decided I'm just gonna act like that in the first place. So they don't have to tell me that anymore. It's worked for me since then. Probably not gonna stop now.
Glad you found something to give yourself purpose. And through whatever means, realistically, if it's made your life better, you're going to keep doing it.
I don't know about better. Just easier to tolerate other people, I guess. Maybe that is better.
Easier then.
Come to think of it, this little guy over here, he was never one of those people. I think maybe because he can't talk, he feels the same way sometimes. Weird how it goes when you ended up chained to the same set of windows out in the middle of the wilds.
Do you know why you
Can
were?
I ask? God,
Do you know why you were removed? It's just you drew the lucky ticket. You didn't peep up.
seen it happen a dozen times. We're at capacity in Kazul. New prisoners have to come in, old prisoners have to go out. They have a ticket system. Everybody gets a number when you go in. And when new prisoners are admitted, put all the ticket numbers into a big old bowl. They pick out as many as they need transferred. It has nothing to do with severity of crimes or what you did on the outside, or even how good you are on the inside. As far as I know, two of us don't deserve to be going to this place. Never been there. Heard stories. Apparently, it's pretty bad.
The wilds are unstable, to say
Yeah.
the least. What was your question?
I know you don't owe me anything. I'm just a stop to a different place for you. Could you do me a favor?
What is that favor?
When we get to this prison, It's really as bad as they say it is back in Kazul. You take the little guy with you. Just leave me there.
Death will think for a second. Don't know if there's a way that we can do that and not make things worse.
You're telling me that 4 of you spent almost an hour trying to figure out what's wrong with his voice. And you're just gonna throw him into a hole in the wilds after all that work? You and me, we both know what kind of man I am, what kind of man he is. He doesn't belong in a place like that. Doesn't deserve to go there. I do. I've made peace with that.
I agree that he probably don't know his full story, but I think at the very least, I agree with you in a sense. I think there's a case for him to have him being mishandled due to his condition. I don't know if that is shown, if that will change his status and his move, but I was really hoping his vocal cords weren't shit. But, I mean,
Yeah.
he hasn't talked for however long. Of course, they've atrophied. There's a chance the smaller one with the top hat can fashion something, maybe to give him rudimentary speech or perhaps something of that nature. So maybe he can convey maybe his situation a little better. He does seem out of place, but I don't think we can just not deliver him. I mean, we could, but that won't happen, unfortunately.
This is probably my last night as a free man. I'm saying that as I'm chained to a wall. You ever felt worry before?
Yes.
They pick you to go to this prison. They don't tell you who you're going with. They just come up to your cell and say you're going. I didn't know it was him that was going with me until we got to the gate. That was the first time in a long time I felt worry for another.
Yeah.
They give him pills every day. What if they don't have those there?
Like medication pills or
Yeah, he takes pills every day. They give him a little cup of pills. He takes them every morning.
it's interesting.
I don't suppose Orion gave you a big sack of pills.
No.
That fucker doesn't know anything.
I don't. I am curious to what they are meant for. Personally, I think they would be more of a to make it easier for the. I don't think it's to make his life easier. I can't imagine
I
that
don't know.
they would be giving him painkillers if he was in pain.
We're not allowed to talk about it, and the poor guy doesn't talk anyway, so I can't even get any answers out of him.
Wait, can he
Yeah.
write?
I don't know.
I can't imagine that you would have a lot of writing utensils in prison, but you know,
You would know. I don't know if Gavorish would know, but you guys would have known from Vern's probing that he was put in prison for counterfeiting. So I'm
Mhm.
sure he can write
yeah,
pretty well, actually.
There's no way we
Yeah.
didn't try to get him to write something.
that's exactly what I'm just coming to conclusion.
If so,
That's true.
We're fucking dumb. But I
That's-
swear we tried that.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think
I don't
at some-
think anybody ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Honestly, I think
on
it
the
was one
backs
of
of
the
elephants.
first. I think it was one of the first things Urzak did was like give him a notebook.
I'll
I
have
guess
to
his
go back
hands are
and look at
bound.
that. Yeah,
I don't know.
I'll have to go back and look at that session because now I can't remember.
I will mention that I actually thought about this about 3 or 4 weeks ago whenever we were off for a couple of weeks, and I remember thinking I don't think we asked him if he can write, or at least I didn't remember it, and I just remembered it just now.
It's possible I just
Yeah,
thought
I'll go
it,
back
and we
and-
never did it.
Yeah, I'll go back and listen because I don't remember ever being asked to write something down. But
Yeah.
my memory is shit, especially when it was like 2 months ago. So I
yeah.
have no idea.
Mhm.
Longer than that, I think.
Yeah, I know I don't know why we haven't asked him to write before, but it might be a step in the right direction for his cause. I don't think he belongs to go into the middle. Honestly, I don't believe anybody deserves to be in the middle of these wilds. It's a hellscape.
Well, the casters sure do. And
Well,
Orion just does whatever they tell him.
I'll be honest with you. Tefok's around, like a little can.
Yeah.
I used to really not agree with what the casters were doing, and I still don't necessarily agree with what they're doing. Sometimes.
I don't think most of the casters even agree with what they're doing. I think they're just doing it because they've been doing it for so long they don't know what else to do.
Upper management's been a problem.
Yeah. Fuck them. Anyway, I'll let you keep watch since I can't help you from over here. I don't mean to talk your ear off or nothing. Just keep him in mind, okay?
Will do.
And he has revealed he has bore too much of his soul at this point. He's going to turn around and try to not get emotional with another man again for another 80 years.
Ever.
Yes.
Dude, I was waiting for the guy to be like, yeah, I'm a fucking bourbon dude. You give me some bourbon, I'll fucking tell you anything. And then I was like, fuck, nobody has fucking, well, I don't know who has booze. Like, Tef doesn't drink, so he doesn't have alcohol in him.
I don't think anybody does. I think this is a fairly tame party as
I
far
was
as
gonna say, I would think maybe I don't know. I
substances
just
go.
thought that maybe Brackle would have like a flask on him or something, but I don't know if that's accurate or not.
The cats would let you drink.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I suppose maybe he could have taken some from Daunt, because Daunt had a
Yeah.
flask with, but I don't know. Yeah, Teth, could you roll me a D100, please?
Ooh, I could crack open a fusion core and pour that in a glass for him. See
Yeah.
if he likes a little bit of battery juice.
Yeah.
Use a
I don't know
perception.
how Elias would. D100, please.
Oh, D100.
Yep.
I like to click the button. 82, free pee pup.
You said 82.
Yeah.
Teth, you wrap up your conversation with Gvorish, and Urzok's recollection of what this barrier was seems to be holding up so far. Not only do you not hear anything out of place, everything seems legitimately calm. You don't sense anything. You're not getting any horrible perceptions outside of what you already know to exist in the wilds. Things look incredibly calm, and the rest of your 2 hours goes by quite quickly for you.
Can I
You go-
can I give
yeah.
the
Anything else?
crucible? I was gonna say can I just throw the crucible in the fire and try to do its thing while my
Yeah,
watch is going?
absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
What is the
Red spark
um,
crucible. So
two
it must be
hours?
placed in fire in 2 hours.
Okay.
Yep. So
Yeah. Well, because you don't need the full 8 hour, or the full 6 hours anyway with Sentry's Rest. So you can check that, and when you open it at the end of your shift, the color is a bit darker. All of the gold that you put in has been dissolved, and it is, as far as you can tell, still a healing potion.
nice.
So you can pour it back into the vial or the flask, whatever you had it in, and it is a potion of supreme healing.
Nice.
ND4 plus 20, baby.
Herzog's gonna be so happy.
I know.
You want to get back
That's a
in
sick
the fight?
Yeah, boost me back up to full.
Yeah, that is quite a thing. Okay.
All right, you head down and you will nudge Hargrave. She's going to take over for you. She'll go all the way down here and set directly behind her traps with her bow drawn, looking straight out. And that's where she will leave you to drift back into Sentry's Rest. As you're powering back down, for the first time in weeks since you had her removed, you you don't see anything, but you have an overwhelming sense of calm and security for the first time in quite a while, and it feels for a fleeting second how it felt when Six was still a part of your construction. Just for maybe a second. And just kind of holding on to that feeling as you power down all the way into your rest. And 2 hours after that, Brackle, you are stirred awake by Hargrave. She's standing over you, just like shoving your shoulder. Just like,
That's
get up.
creepy.
It's your turn.
Get up over and I'm sitting by the fire. I think said he made fire, so sit by the fire since it's cold, and I will keep watch.
Yeah. Guess I didn't put a fire.
Ooh.
We'll just say it's down here. That's where everybody was kind of chilling out. Vern is actually up here.
Yeah, I'm asleep somewhere in a fucking bed.
Yeah. Hargrave will probably move up too. She'll sleep under here. Brackle, you actually roll me a D100 right off the top here.
70.
78. Nice. Yeah, all is pretty quiet for you, Brackle. You're kind of sitting around the fire, watching the flicker of the flames dance around on the stone walls around you. All you hear is the crackling of the fire in the wood. There are still no rodents or insects or anything like that, so you don't hear any any skittering or any any type of wildlife at all. No breeze. It's very still.
Mm.
And as you're sitting there, you get kind of like when when you blink and you get like your eyelids stick together or something, and you just like have that momentary like fuzziness in your vision.
Mm-hmm.
You blink and that happens to both of your eyes, where your vision is fuzzy for just a split second, and you blink again and it goes away. It only happens just that one little bit, and you go maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes without anything happening.
Okay.
So you're getting into the morning time. The sun is starting to rise. You can see light starting to pour over the canyon wall here, and it happens again. And this is maybe 40 minutes after the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens again maybe 20 minutes after. Then again 10 minutes after that. And then it's every 10 blinks or so.
I'm gonna
Your
grab.
vision is fuzzy.
Who's the closest?
Coil.
Beth? Coil. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run over to Coil and wake him up.
What?
Hey.
What?
Hey,
What?
I don't know if you can see anything else, but I'm potentially going blind, and I'm not sure why.
Oh,
Like blind, like I can't see, when it does that. Like I can't really see anything.
you can still see general color and shape and light.
Mhm.
It's just very, very fuzzy.
Okay. Does anything look weird on my eyes, Coil?
No, at least I don't think so. Did you put anything weird on your eyes?
I don't think so.
What do you mean you don't? Do you
Everything.
remember putting anything weird on your eyes?
No, I didn't put anything weird on my eyes.
Did anybody else put anything weird on your eyes while you were sleeping?
That I can't tell you.
Neither can I. I was asleep too. Why are you asking? I'm so tired.
I needed to tell somebody in case I can't see anymore.
I don't know how to help you.
You slept the whole night. You're fine.
I'm used to sleeping a lot more. Okay, this is the first night in a long time that I've only slept this much.
We'll get used to it. You're out in the wild.
Isn't he
I hate
Ladrin?
that. He is an Eladrin, yeah. Canonically, they don't need sleep, but he sleeps anyway. He
Yeah.
just,
That's great.
Well, you're staying up with
he's
me.
just sad all the time.
Um,
Sleeping helps the
Anyway.
pain go away.
so it just keeps happening quicker and quicker,
Yeah,
like in shorter
yeah. The
increments.
intervals, the intervals are getting faster and faster.
Mm,
Well, I I can't even do magic on purpose. I don't even I
I just need
can't
somebody awake with me.
I can't
I, I don't know
I
what's
don't know
going on.
what I don't know
You-
how to help. I don't know how to help you. I don't know how to help you.
all right.
Jesus.
You're fine. You don't need to help me.
Okay,
You'll have to get somebody else if I tell you. Okay.
okay. Who should I get? Not
Death.
Urzak,
Death.
please. Okay,
Um,
okay.
can I make a roll like insight or arcana or history or any?
What are
Just
you trying
I'm not
to?
sure.
What are you trying to find out?
I'm trying to rack my brain if this is it's too like consistent to not be something that's
Right.
affecting me that's like real as opposed to my eyes just being blurry. I feel like. Um,
Make me. So I'll give you a choice. You
Okay.
can roll medicine if you want to try and uh, kind of feel around and just like try and figure out how your eyes are feeling. Just like focus in on the physicality of it. So you can roll medicine. You can roll arcana to try and sense if anything magical is intervening with your body, or you can roll. I will give you. I'll give you history to see if you can pull anything from your studies, uh, like any tactics that you might use on somebody else.
I'll do history.
Okay.
21.
21 history. Um, as far as you know, there are several different solves that you could use uh, that would require like topical application that would do something similar. In your studies, when you were with the first scale, they would have trained you in things like that. Different um, ointments that had different detriments like this, different poisons that could make somebody's vision blur out. But again, that would require some type of physical touch or injection. Uh, and from the looks of it, nothing has gotten into this space, and everybody else has been asleep. Uh, the only two people that you haven't been traveling with for a long time are chained to a window, and they haven't moved. And the only other person has been asleep the whole time until now, and that's Coil.
Well, with that teaching, do I know how to counteract the effect?
It would be the same as like removing a poison.
It. Okay. Probably go. Coil, lead me over to Teth.
Okay, that I can do. I think he'll kind of help you up. He'll kind of put his arms like under your armpits and help you stand up. Uh, Absolutely does not know how to interact with another person.
Coil.
His interpersonal skills are bad. So he just like he's never lifted anything in his life. You know that he has, but he just all of that just instinct out the window. So he's just like his forearms are under your armpits, so he's just like lifting you up like this. Like, okay, get up. All right,
That's
here
great.
we go.
Thanks. All right, now put me down, and then just walk like a regular person over to
He'll,
town.
he'll drop you immediately. right when you say that, right back down on the ground. You
I
said
thought I
drop you.
was standing up, wasn't it?
Oh, maybe you were. I don't know.
I just
I
went
thought you
over to
said
wake
help.
him up. You know.
Gotcha. He has no idea what's going on. He's still sleepy. So yeah, he will he'll take your hand and just in the most uncomfortable way, just like put it and hold it on his shoulder and walk in front of you with both of his hands on top of your hand over to Teth.
Well, we're gonna have a talk later about
Oh.
how to act like a regular,
That makes him incredibly anxious. He hates that.
I can't see that he's anxious. I'll
That's
wake
like
up Tess.
texting somebody, I have something important to talk about. I'll talk to you when you get home.
Okay.
But it's the beginning of your workday.
Yeah.
So you have 8 hours to wonder what you're talking about in 8 hours.
Waiting's the worst
Yeah.
part.
Yeah. So he will move you guys over to Teth.
I'll wake Teth up.
Hello.
So something weird's going on with my eyes. They're just getting blurrier and blurrier. My sight is, I should say. I don't know if you have maybe like if you can like heal poisons or anything like that. I think that's what it might be. But if I can't see, maybe we should get another guard to finish out the morning.
Teth will grab his prayer beads and give Brackle a little tap tap and lesser restoration. See if that does anything.
It does. Once that washes over you, Brackle, you can tell it's consistent enough now that you can tell when it's gone. It has been eliminated from your system. You are all good.
Teth, can you just like look at my face essentially and see if there's any like pin pricks or something that could have, injected me, I suppose.
Sure. Teth will do a once over and then also go ahead and just dump a cleansing touch into him as well as he's inspecting.
Make an investigation check or a medicine check. Your choice, Teth.
Oh God, investigation or medicine?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, medicine's a +2. Okay. Wow. Amazing. How's an 11?
11 is decent. That is good enough. You do not see any pinpricks. You don't see any type of open wound. What you do see on the very edges of Brackle's eyes, like just like right out here, very slight red blemishing.
Pull out a. God, I don't even know if Teth has a mirror. Pulls out a very.
Just shine your
high-
pauldron.
Yeah, just shine his chest plate a little bit and point at. Do I have a? No, I don't have a mirror.
Vern has
Teth would-
that looking glass thing that he made. That's for distance, but you can use that.
Just really close.
Go pickpocket Vern in his sleep.
Yeah.
You won't need this right now, buddy. I'm gonna take this for a second.
You just pick up Vern and shake it out of him.
Still
no,
asleep though, dead asleep.
No mirror that he has, so he would just bring it up Well, Winter, it appears that you have some blemishing on the sides of your eyes here.
Quill will
Unfortunately,
automatically react to that. Oh God. Oh no, no. I'm so sorry I missed that.
What?
Idiot. Idiot.
it's fine, Coil.
It's just like
It's not
irritation.
fine.
It looks like.
He could have died.
I don't think you would have died.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. I can't die.
What?
Jesus.
I'm just gonna walk away back to the fire.
Coil, did you know that you're the chosen one?
Thank you, Tess.
That's of course.
Philip all over again.
That's immediately what I imagined was Philip.
Coil actually has some magic powers, though. Philip was just a guy with
Actually-
a spear.
Does God Coil? Oh man, this is the combination of things that I don't know if I would have put together. So I have an idea of K1, and there was some sort of connection made to the powers that Coil has.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a lot of it was like rumors, right? It was like before my time, K1.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think before Teth just goes back to his stasis mode, he would just say Coil.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anybody that resembles somebody like myself?
Mm. No. I don't think so. Should I? Should I have? Should I have? Teth, should I have? Teth, should I have?
Just like go back into stasis.
Teth's not laughing. I'm
Oh,
laughing.
Leave him panicking in the middle of the
yeah.
camp.
Yeah.
Who was this person? What was I should have seen them? Oh my God.
Coil, no.
Coil eventually cries himself to sleep, just right on the ground, right here. He spirals enough that he wears himself out and he falls asleep.
I was gonna say I was gonna say no, but then my counter proposal to it was like, no, if you had met them, they probably would have killed you. And then I was like, that wouldn't be better either.
That would be way worse. That'd be way worse.
Teth just says no, and that's it. Right, back sleep.
Brackle, you're back at the fire. Your shift is almost over. You got about a half an hour left before everybody else is going to wake up. The sun is now high enough in the sky that you can't see it over the wall, but the sky is lit. It's like a soft pink. So everything is bright again. And you hear it clearly is not an external sound. It's coming from within your head.
I'm just
you can if you want.
no, I'm just
You hear in your head, I am watching you, Brackle.
I think I know who it is. I have a guess.
It is it sounds like a distorted voice that you recognize. But I would have you make a check to see if Brackle can discern who it is.
I want to make a check.
All right, make a perception check with disadvantage, please.
I had a nat 20 and then a 4. So it is 15.
With a 15, you are not sure. But your best guess is that you are being contacted somehow. You don't know how, with a 15, by your old teacher
Mm.
who has died.
Mm. Interesting.
Zoltarai.
That's who I think it is.
That's who you think it is, yes. And it's somebody that you haven't thought of in years. But he is the first person that would have taught you about those physical solves.
Mm.
And he was known for both he himself and teaching and producing other people of the same caliber, uh, uh, essentially hyper critical assassins. Uh, incredibly adept at getting in and out of places totally undetected.
Yeah. Okay, so he's probably. Well, if you're watching, why don't you just come out and we can have a talk? I think he's still like, he doesn't know how to process it. He's like, this is probably.
It'll be several minutes with no response, almost to the point where you think that one won't come, and you're just kind of settling back into processing this, thinking you're alone, and you'll just hear much softer than the first one. Soon.
Chilling.
Alrighty. Yep, he's just
And
thinking about a lot of stuff.
also, with a 15, you would notice that the choice was made to call you Brackle
Mm.
and not your given name. He used your chosen name instead.
Interesting.
Because when you knew him, even up until he died, he would have known you as Ishtar
Mm.
and not Brackle.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess I don't have anything to say. I'm a little done. I would think he's just like going through his head trying to figure out if what all he heard was a lie about it, or if there was some necromantic something that happened with him, or I don't know. He's just thinking how it's possible for him to be talking to him. You know, obviously we have contact with other planes, so it's like not unheard of, and you know, gods have talked to us. But yeah, interesting why he'd be reaching out now. Could be that we're in the wilds and the magic is a little crazier here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of what he's thinking.
Brackle is taking the last shift, so he's staying awake. Of the rest of you, who's getting up first in the morning?
Sure.
Maybe Urzak if he went to bed next of the people that weren't on watch.
Vern's still asleep.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Do we get you click the long rest?
You can all click long rest. You've made it through the 8 hours. You can all take a long rest. Urzak wakes up first about 5:30 a.m. The sun is coming up over the canyon walls. Urzak, Teth, you're up just a little bit after him, and you'll see that Hargrave is awake already as well. She's just perched up here. Voresh and Peep Up are still asleep. And does Vern snore?
Oh yeah, of course he does.
You can hear Vern snoring through these windows.
Nice.
Coil is still asleep on the ground.
I always imagine that. Well, first of all, I imagine Urzok's an early riser. Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
Probably.
But I always thought that. So since Teth has that like weird stasis that he goes into, I always assumed that he just is like always semi-conscious, and he usually just waits until he hears other people moving around before he does anything. Because he's like, well, I don't have anything I'm going to do, so I'm going to wait till other people are up and then I'll do the thing. So even if he did wake up first, he would still be in his stasis and just like kind of chilling.
Just waiting. Yeah.
You're at a
just like-
sleepover at somebody else's house, and you're like, I don't want to get up before everybody else because I have no idea what this house is like. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
There's
That's
wake up
exactly.
Rent.
Yeah, you're like,
If I have
oh,
to
well,
turn
nobody
on.
else
Ugh.
is up yet, and I woke up at 7 o'clock, and everybody else is drinking. I probably won't wake up till 10:30, so I guess I'm going back to sleep.
Andrew, did you see that on Reddit today?
What?
Oh, the thing. It's so weird that you mentioned that because on the front page of Reddit there was a comic about like awkwardly not knowing what to do when you spend the night over at someone's place and you wake up first.
Yeah.
So when you mentioned that, I was like, that's so trippy that I literally just saw a comic for that.
I'll have to see if it's on my front page. I haven't opened Reddit today.
So weird.
Cool, guys. What are you doing? It's morning time.
I'm
I think
gonna walk over to Brackle's still awake, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
He last watch.
he'd
He's at the
be looking out.
if he's at the fire, I would go up to the fire and I think Urzak, being an early riser, would usually do something for breakfast. Probably something simple like he'll just throw some meat in a pot or something like that. A nice like scent to waft over the camp to get people to wake up instead of going and hitting
Mhm.
people awake.
Slow cook some like pork belly in the morning.
Slow cooked
Slow
gray
God.
matter left behind by the brain.
Listen, man, we'll never know until we taste it. Well, Teth will
It's
know
true.
because he has tasted it.
Yep.
Chef's kiss.
Don't remember that sensation.
Right. No recollection of what happened in the T-Rex.
I know I only have 15 minutes left, but I have to go and do those grades, so I'm gonna check out now that we.
Oh
get our
yeah,
long
I
rest.
totally
I wanted to
forgot
stick around
about
because I wanted to see about the whole like eyes blurring thing and see if we like
Figured it out.
how that developed. Yeah. But all right, I'll see you guys.
Yeah.
They
See
did.
ya.
See you, man. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Cool. You guys want to do anything else? Wrapping up things.
Yeah, I want to
Slash
get peep
back
up
on
a
the road.
fucking piece of paper
Oh
in a
yeah.
pen.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Teth
He is
is gonna
still
go find
asleep.
Urzok. Yeah, he's gonna go find Urzok, and because he's scholarly, right? It's just like,
He's got to have some paper.
hey Urzok, do you have a writing utensil and some paper for Peep Up to see if he can write?
I mean, of course. See, it's like he like pulls out like a sleeve like a thief would have for like lockpicks, except it's like a variety of different pens.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
so
like
good.
looking for like the right pen for Peep Up.
Yep.
Hands you.
What will fit his dainty fingers?
Hey, what's not so nice that I'm concerned it's gonna break?
Right.
Yeah, they'll hand you a pen and some parchment.
Yep. Hell yeah. Teth will walk back over to Peep Up.
Before you go, how did your experiment go? I'm
Oh, yes, of
brimming
course.
with curiosity.
I think it worked, and then Teth will hand over the potion. Didn't, test it or anything. Didn't do the old taste test or anything, but It didn't evaporate. So worst case scenario, I just wasted 40 gold. So
Well,
Ultra so.
alchemy isn't my strong suit, but pursuit of knowledge is. So I will look into it and get back to you with the results.
This is something that I wouldn't require a check for from Eric because it's based next to the things that he's making. This is still pretty basic. He would be able to confirm that it is a supreme potion of healing.
Hell yeah.
God damn.
Roll me that dice. How much does that heal for?
And D4 plus 20.
47.
God
Oh.
damn.
Bang!
That's good.
Nice.
Drugu.
Very on top.
Awesome.
That reminds me, if any of you have items that reset at dawn, you can remove all of the spent charges for those.
You know, I do gotta roll what is it, a D6?
Yeah.
D6 plus 2. I'll roll a D6 and then add 2. I rolled a 6 and add 2. Fuck yeah.
Nice. Put up that wall of force again, dude.
I know. It only holds 8 charges, so
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
that was a full. Yeah, fuck yeah. That's great. In case we need to make more worm slides.
Right.
Yeah, Teth will jaunt on over to Peep Up and give him a little tap, tap, tap.
He is extremely sprightly for his age. He'll just wake up, his eyes will open up, he'll blink a couple times,
Yep.
and he'll look at you, Teth, and he has the biggest smile on his face. He's just like,
It's because it's the first time that he has woken up without chronic pain in like 70 years.
correct.
No. Hey, glad to see you're feeling well. I suppose you look way happier. Do you write? Can you write? Yeah. And Teth will hand over the piece of paper and the writing utensil, and he will say, "I feel like you don't belong where you're going, and I'm trying to figure out the circumstances in which you've arrived here, and I'm really trying to figure out what has led you to this path as far as your circumstance. I don't know what led you to go to prison in the first place, or if that was even what the scenario was, but I don't think you are a criminal of, or were a criminal of the caliber that's supposed to go to where you're going. So anything that you can honestly write that will tell me your story and how you have found yourself here in one of the most violent and unpredictable land on this entire continent, heading to a maximum security prison, would be, at the very least, insightful. And Teth will kind of look over at Gavorish and see if he's awake.
He is not yet.
Yeah. I think I think a few of us, more than a few of us, agree that you might not necessarily be needing to stay there, but I mean, we have a job to do and we're taking you there. But I don't think you necessarily belong there long term, but I imagine that not being able to speak will have made things more difficult for you in this endeavor. Anyway,
Now every prologue is about Peep Up from here on out.
but yeah, it starts off in a cornfield, and
Peep up
it's
origin. Yeah.
It's not even the origin story. It's the it's like the 50 years from now. It's like Peep Up in like in his fucking 90s, like in a field, corn. He's like,
It's like
"Oh, I
running.
forgot."
It's like
Yeah.
running through a cornfield, just hands brushing up against the corn on both sides.
Yeah.
He's
Ah.
wearing a white linen shirt, mostly
Every
unbuttoned.
Cialis commercial ever created, it's just Peep-Up running through cornfields.
Him taking a
Like
bath with his wife in another different bath.
Riding a tandem bicycle
Yep.
down a street.
There's a bunch of baby Peep Ups.
Yeah.
They literally look exactly like Peep Up. They're just like a tenth of the size, though.
Yes. Version. Same hat and everything, just like running around a house. Yeah, he will take the parchment and the ink pen from you, and he'll get the walls are flat enough that he will kind of look around for a place to write, and then he'll notice the wall, and as if he had not missed a beat from his forgery days, he will begin to write at the top of the paper. Uh, Absolutely exquisite penmanship. You can read every word perfectly. He will write a sheet out for you, and I'll make this as a handout for next week.
Yeah.
Where he detailed the basic gist of it was, um, he didn't have a family, uh, didn't really have many friends, but he worked essentially as like a clerical personnel. His job was to write things down for a small time monarch, not necessarily the leader of a kingdom, but like the derivative of that, like a duke or whatever. He was essentially like the stenographer for this incredibly wealthy person, and that person died. And once that person died, they didn't leave anything to Peep Up, so Peep Up had to scramble to find new work. And so he turned to using uh, the only skill that he had developed over his years with this duke to help other people. So he would charge an exorbitant amount of money to forge legal documents. A lot of it was like passing papers for people to get in and out of cities. Documents stating people's status. So he would make like credential badges and things like that. Just a wide variety of forgery services, and he was quite good at it. And then he got caught, and he was placed into a jail. And over the course of being placed in different prisons, he slowly began to lose his voice until one day he couldn't really speak above just little murmurs like you hear now. And the message kept getting diluted more and more and more, the different places he was bounced around to. And then he ended up in Kazul years and years later. And now he's here with you.
Interesting. So
But it is beautiful penmanship. He not only can he write, it's like the most perfect handwriting you've ever seen in your life.
Hey, Brackle, I think you could use somebody of his caliber. Look at this. This penmanship.
God damn.
I may put in a. God, can you buy people's freedom in Azura?
Maybe.
Can Urzak purchase a slave?
I was gonna say that's probably done worse things. I'm sure buying a person isn't any worse than just killing them. Right?
That's
true.
Arguable.
Ozark wants to teach Peepup arcane sigils and
Oh, dude, yeah, that would
have
be great.
him
Oh yeah.
draw
Man.
everything for him.
Urzak, you're
Keep
not
up is
buying
this
Peep Up.
party's droop with more more technical skill.
We can see if we can buy his freedom, though.
That's actually a
I
legitimate
think
question that I feel like we might have an idea, but I don't know if we would know for sure, right?
I think my answer to that at this point would be it depends on who you ask.
Right.
Or it's like I think you would have a pretty good idea that Orion would say no because he is so lawfully strict that he's like bound to the Kazul code, and he is sure that because the edict came down from the higher ups, Peepup must deserve to be here for one reason or another. The people at the prison may be more easily influenced.
I
Okay.
mean, above game, we were just charged to deliver them to prison, right? To that prison.
Yeah.
So we deliver them. We say, "Hey, we delivered these prisoners," and then Brackle just goes in there with his smooth hands and just like, "Hey, how much for that little guy? I give you 150 gold."
Interesting.
Um,
Yeah, that is Peepup's story.
I also like it. There's going to be a matter of like, the matter is like, he's probably served out his sentence twice over, right?
That's the
So
Oh,
how do you
easily,
looking at it.
easily.
how do you prove that? Even if he was able to talk, like, can't
Mm.
can't prove that.
Right.
maybe we can have him forge a document that says.
That is true.
I, you know,
Hey, this thing that got you into prison in the first place, can you do that for us again, please? Like,
That's funny. I don't think this is a route we should go, but that's really funny.
I
Putting
suppose
it in
you'd
the
have
chat
to
so
like
we remember.
track all of the places where he was transferred from
Yeah.
and just count the time, just add the time from each place
Yeah.
and be like, hey, he was only sentenced for 5 years and he's been in prison for like 30.
25.
So
Yeah.
I also have to like hope that their bookkeeping's good like that.
also
Solid as
that
well.
yeah.
And
I don't know.
And
I
I
don't know
forgot.
how well medieval bookkeeping goes.
Are they caster friendly or not here?
You don't know for sure. You know definitely they are affiliated with the prison in Kazul, uh, to the point where Orion will carry out the orders he's given to transfer people to and from.
Yeah.
It
And that comes from the
it
caster.
was not. Oh yeah, so Orion is in a weird position. He's not necessarily employed by the casters, but like he has to follow some of their laws because he's the captain of the guard for another really big established city. So he's like his duty is to Kazul first, but under the umbrella of the continent, you know.
And he
So
was cool with
he's
us
pretty
being
restricted.
like. Sorry, what'd you say?
He's pretty restricted in how he can operate. He was definitely cool with all of you because he trusts Urzak implicitly.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll cross that path. When prison. They
Yeah.
Right, and collect some bounties, maybe.
Yeah, they could be casters. They could be just free market, just a really bad prison that does
Mercenaries.
business with Kazul because they're also a prison. You know, like a contracted type of situation.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I think the key there is showing that somehow that he has served his sentence like 5 times. So
Yeah. I think that is
Figuring
important
it.
for sure.
Figuring out how to do it. But cool.
Real quick, Barlos, before I forget, I did get the spells figured out for the armor there.
Oh, nice. How did you do that?
I'm gonna have to jump off, guys.
All right. See you later, man.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
I made a homebrew feat. There
Oh,
is
yeah.
a option in feats to basically did a duplicate of Magic Initiate, brought it down
Gotcha.
to one spell. You can set the parameters of the spell levels that you can learn. So put that to 0 through 5, and then there's an option which is really helpful, which is you can set it to infinite options. So basically, what that does is that instead of having to go in there and edit it every time I want a new spell, it'll let me just keep picking stuff,
Okay, great.
and then we'll just have to keep
Yeah.
track that keep it under 11.
Yeah.
The only
Yep,
thing
that's
that
fine.
the only thing I couldn't figure out, which I don't know if there is an option for it, is for it to teach me it. It doesn't teach me the spell. I don't know the spell per se. So when I go to cast it, it says at will instead of like cast.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
So
Just mark the spell slot off.
Exactly.
Yeah, I trust you. Yeah, I knew that was going to be a weird mechanic to figure out, but that's fine. Cool. And cool that you used the Crucible. I forgot that I gave that to you, honestly. So that was nice to see it in action.
It's a pretty fucking cool item.
Yeah, that item is wild to me. But I thought about it and I was like, it's not like, I mean, I know we go in town and get potions and get stuff here and there, but it's not like I wouldn't say that you make them like super available, like, you know what I mean, to where we could really really abuse it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, it's not like we have access to, fucking 35 potions.
Thousands of potions. Yeah, yeah.
Eric could probably make them.
Yeah, I
Eric,
think
Eric does know how to make healing potions, so he could just make you a bunch of basic healing potions, and then every day you just
theoretically
keep
it'd
them
be
in.
like one a day, right? But it's
Yeah,
like,
because the holdup is the fire. Like you can't keep
Yeah.
a fire with you, like going all the time.
So yeah, that's
At least not for
it's
2
one of those
hours.
things that I think it's balanced pretty well, even though it's like it's really cool and powerful, but it's like, okay, like, realistically, we're gonna have it for a week to pass in game. It's gonna be like fucking like 3 years, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah, I mean, also
Yeah.
like we made the biggest potion from the second biggest potion. There's probably a difference in average of healing is probably like, I don't know, like 20 hit points, maybe 15 hit points.
Yeah.
And at this level, we have the capability to cast heal, which is like 70 hit points or whatever.
Right.
So in the grand scheme of things, I think it's pretty balanced.
supreme potions are pretty powerful, but like you're saying, you have like you can just blast, lay on hands, or heal for 70 or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Also, that actually reminds me, casting at higher levels. I'm gonna change, just because you guys haven't used it yet. I'm gonna change the Cerebral Gate spell. I'm gonna knock it down to 5th level, so you can learn that, Urzak.
half casters can use it.
Yep.
I will not learn 5th level spells.
Oh, you're third caster.
Oh yeah, I'll take it down to 4th then.
Okay. And on that note as well, I won't be able to cast it until like level 18.
Yeah.
Well,
You get
somebody, you can put it into your armor, and then somebody can read it off of your shoulder plate or something.
I guess my question
yes,
is like, do you want it to be available to us to use multiple times? Is that your goal, or like, because I at some point I think I even just gave it to Brackle, like.
Oh yeah, maybe you did. Yeah, I guess that was the intent, but there were more of them in the bunker too. So you can,
okay.
even if you use it, you can find more.
Dude, how does your armor work? Can you just suck up any scroll?
It's basically the spell book, yeah.
Gotta read that scroll.
Yeah, let me read it. I don't know if it specifies, or if Arlos would like to re-specify. That if I have
It
to be able to cast it.
specifies it has to be at a level you can cast, and it's from the wizard's
Wizard
list.
spell list, yeah.
Shit. Never mind.
Which is that's a big
So
spell
no
list.
like blade barrier or anything, but you got plenty of spells to pick from. Like there are a ton of 4th level and under spells.
What
I
was the
think it
spell?
specifies. I think it specifies 5th level and under, but like for Urzok's case,
Yeah.
right now anything 3rd level and under is fair game, pretty much.
You said raised
Oh,
dead? Yeah. It's not.
Revivify is, but it's not on your spell list.
I think I looked into it. I think I could get 5th level spell slots if I started multi-classing into wizard next level, which I'm still considering. The fighter features for the rest of them is just like they're
600
It's just more
they're
attacks.
they're fine.
You can attack 3 times, and then you can attack 4 times at 20th level.
One of the features is I can basically Misty Step when I use Action Surge, which is so limited
Yeah.
in use. One of the other features is I get 2 Action Surges and 3 Indomitables. And then I get the extra attack, and then I think the other things are just feats.
I mean, that's kind of why I multi-classed into rogue after a certain, like 7 or 8 levels of fighter or whatever it was. It was like a blend.
Yeah.
But like you get 5 or 7 levels in fighter, and it's like you can really go a lot of different directions. Or even if you want to get 3 attacks and then split off.
Yeah.
It's,
Look, I'm pretty sure if I do 6 levels of wizard is when I can get 5th level spell slots.
I feel like your best bet would be abjuration or war magic, probably.
I was looking at it a bit again. I've looked at it all the fucking time, but like, let me look at the spells here before I forget. What the hell are you doing?
Anything but blade singing or illusion, really.
I can't do blade singing because even though I'm wearing medium armor now,
Got to be light armor, right?
it's really light armor. I did look at barbarian again because you can rage in medium armor,
yeah.
but I can't concentrate on spells.
Yeah. You would pretty much have 2 modes. You'd have casting mode and rage mode.
Exactly. Could always do mirror image still. That's not concentration.
Yeah.
Rude as that is.
Just go crazy and go graviturgy.
That was honestly one of the biggest ones I was thinking was graviturgy.
Yeah.
The thing that stinks about it is that the first feature for it is basically a watered down version of enlarge reduce, but it requires concentration.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But by 20th level, if you started at level 14, are we 14 right now or 15?
14.
So you wouldn't even get to the next feature. You just have to consider your first feature because the next one is at level 6.
At level 20, I would have 2 5th level spell slots, which is pretty cool.
Damn.
Oh wait, yeah, 15 through 20. So you would get the second feature because that's at 6th level.
Yep.
So you would be able to condense spells down into a little bead and pass them off to people.
And which one?
For or no, sorry, that's Chronergy.
Is that Chronergy? One of them, yeah.
Chronergy has a wild 6th level feature where you can take any spell. I think it's 5th level and lower or 4th level and lower, and condense it into a marble, and then use it as an action. So then you can cast like spells with crazy long durations during combat as an action. So like you can pop a tiny hut in the middle of battle if you put it into your bead.
Yeah.
It's not
Which
Chronergy.
is
I know what you're talking about. It's transmutation, maybe, or no? That's transmutation stone.
Yeah, not the transmuter stone.
I also definitely thought war magic would be like the right answer. Oh, that's what it is. So like you get arcane deflection, which my wings are already better than for the AC buff, but it could give me a +4 to saving throws on a reaction, which is pretty good. Um, and I think the 6th level feature for war magic is the most dog shit feature out there, because like it's a really cool idea. Basically, you start every day with 1 charge, and if
Mm-hmm.
you ever dispel magic or counterspell a spell, you get a charge, and you can store a certain number of charges, intelligence modifier, and what you can do with them is you can spend a charge and deal damage to a creature or object equal to a half of your wizard level.
It's a lot
So
of work for not much
So at 20th level,
output.
I would be able to do an extra 3 points of damage once per day, pretty much. Like, fucking great. Wow.
Yeah.
Is it
That's
it's based off
one
your
you
wizard level?
go.
Yeah, it's based on
Yeah,
wizard
off
level.
of your wizard level.
So if you're a level 20 wizard, each charge would be half of your wizard
It
level.
would still be 10 damage, which is still
10 damage,
at level
It's
20.
fine.
That's
but for Urzak, it wouldn't be worth it.
But would it be like if you had 5 charges, it would be 50?
you can
Like
only
each
spend
charge?
one charge per turn,
Oh, okay. That's what I'm thinking of.
and to get more than 1 charge, you have to do the counter spell or dispel magic.
Yeah. I got
So
you.
definitely one that I think they could tweak, but
I agree.
it's also supposed to be for a level 6 person, typically. So
Right.
Yeah.
It was Chronergy Magic that I was thinking of, but it's the level 10 feature, not the level 6 feature.
Okay.
When you cast a spell using a spell slot of 4th level or lower, you can condense the spell's magic into a mote, and it's frozen in time at the moment of casting, and you can use it as an action to cast the spell on command,
Just
which is wild.
multi-class into paladin and just start smiting, and then give
I had talked to
Carlos a nightmare.
I had talked to Barlos about this at some point, about trying to do something like that, but make the paladin intelligence based.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't think smiting cares about charisma.
No, it just takes spell slots, right? It doesn't use
Yeah.
charisma.
Yep.
So at the very least, the most powerful feature of a paladin isn't affected in any way.
I could definitely make a paladin for you and just change everything over to intelligence. I think that would be
It would just
well
be
within
oath
what you'd
of
do.
justice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oath of
If
Justice
you
Paladin.
if you do something inhumane or unjust, you potentially get smited.
Yeah, Lendis smites you out of the sky.
Yeah.
That's also like
Cold damage smite.
a very interesting thing that we're kind of exploring with the prisoners at this point is like Urzak's perception of justice.
Yeah.
You know, it was never meant to be perfect.
And that's the problem. That's the problem with the sword that balances perfectly, because it's never. That's the fallacy of the religion of Lendis, I think, which makes it so much more interesting.
Yeah.
It's like only Lendis can be perfectly balanced all the time. So how do you, as a steward of the faith, keep your power with your sword, but also like stay like one with what you believe?
Yeah.
Very cool stuff. I think the prison will test everybody in that regard. I'm very excited for you guys to get there.
Because
Yeah, we
it's
were
already
talking
gonna
about
be fucked when we get
we're
there.
talking about that stuff at the end there, and like we're just thinking like, man, if there weren't like pressing matters, like Urzak would just like go to Orion and be like, all right, You guys clearly have issues with the prison. There's clearly something going on here. You can't fit fucking people in it. Like, we're just gonna go through like every prisoner. We're gonna sit them down. We're gonna figure out like who actually needs to be in the system, who doesn't.
Yeah.
You know,
If there wasn't like a presidium thing going on,
right?
Right.
or an immediate presidium thing for Zito, but
All right. I'm gonna hop off, guys. Great session tonight. Thank you very much as
Alright.
always.
I do.
see you
Right.
guys.
Have a good one.
Bye.